Are we on the air? Niner! Wait a minute. You know, I've okay, wait, I'm ready. Niners! Listen, like you got carried away yesterday. We still got no audio? We have audio now? Karen, do we have audio, Karen? You know, it's even the system was partying yesterday. Okay. You know, it's just, most people came home after doing whatever they did today and crashed and burned, right? But, you know, the show must go on. We must talk 49ers football. It's our duty to the booty. Fam, you know, when I was checking out here, that's why this today, the Niners Cup runneth over. You look at all this talent, you know, it gets exciting. Because the Niners have plenty of talent competing for the roster spots during this 2022 preseason. However, the cream always rises to the top. Can I get an amen? The stars with the biggest potential will indeed make it to opening day, and you know this. Of the players who will participate in the 2022 drive for the elusive Lombardi number 6, there are several that have success written all over them. Oh, they're just chomping at the bit to get at it. Brothers and sisters of the congregation, here's what we're going to do tonight. Taking your calls after spotlighting some of the top predicted candidates to make the biggest difference on how well the Niners will fare in the upcoming 2022 season. So, let me hear you holla. And it's good for the holiday after yesterday, overindulgence. We try to get, you know, because I wasn't really happy with my opening. Niner! Oh, I feel better now. Okay. Vader? My God. I've not seen Vader in a long time. All right. And Redman ranked 222 days till Super Bowl 57. Who are going to be the combatants? Fam, let's get right into this. Niners have several returning players who are set to have a jump in production in 2022. Some of the suspects have been flying under the radar, and others have just more to prove as business card carrying vets on this particular team. You know, because some of them did fall down the last couple of years. No matter what, those players I'm about to present to you for their examination have the potential to have either breakout or comeback 2022 seasons, starting with, yes, indeed, Nick Bosa's on the. You got to put Nick on the list. Here's why. Nick, the smaller bear, Bosa's already one of the top producers on the D-line with 19.5 sacks in 2021. You know what? We talked about this the other day. Somebody said, I couldn't remember how many sacks Nick had. I think this counts the playoffs, too, which went all the way to the end, so that added to it. So I think Nick ended the season with like 14, picked up a few more in the playoffs, maybe. And the Niners would be delighted if Gerald Bosa's youngest baby boy had the same production for a second consecutive season. And 1 year further removed from that ACL injury that he suffered in New York. We can expect Nicky B will be even better prepared this year than he was last year because he is still human, even though most guys come off an ACL a little less dynamic than Nick. So you figure on that sliding scale, the average individual, the super individual, and then there's Nick in a category of his own. If he's coming back this year a better Nick due to the fact that the ACL recovery did have its little bit of a hold on him. Whoa. Bosa, he's not under the radar amongst most of us 49er fans anyway, though, or the NFC West. But he continually is left off a list of best defensive players, including PFF's latest top 5, which included Joey Bosa, but not little brother Nick. This happens to Nick a lot. You saw what happened last year. After all the accolades been handed out, they didn't give any to Nick. Not really. So, you know, Nick's going to come in. I figure this year, okay, you know what? These guys don't understand. not going to put up with this. People are going to get hurt. I already see it coming down. Nick's going to go wild this year. And then there's Charles Omenihu. Or Omenihu, whichever way you want to pronounce that vowel. The thing is, CO, as I'll call him, just to avoid that name, could prove to be a huge value trade for the Niners in 2022. Charles O.T., who was acquired for a 2023 sixth-round pick, there's a value for you. If he comes out and storms the beaches like the Marines, look what we did. He turned 25 in August and could have his best football still all in front of him. In his 9 games with the Niners in 2021, CO didn't record any sacks, but with continued work with the D-line, the D-line Jedi, Chris Kasurik, along with playing in one of the deepest D-line rooms in the league, CO is set for a breakout season. Put him on that list. That's it. 6'5", 280 pounds. CO will be looking for, and I'm betting, given more playing time this year, just for a little bit we've seen from last year, he needed more work with Chris to understand what we do in San Francisco. He was out there just playing pretty much on his own. He knew some stuff, I'm sure, but not like he knows probably by now. I'm looking forward to him. And then there's Samson Ebukam, another pass rusher who will benefit from a second season under the Jedi Master Kasurik. It is Samson. He recorded just 4.5 sacks. And like Charles O., will benefit from playing along a very talented line. See, you get a bunch of guys playing together really good, everybody benefits. Now everybody eats. Like a pack of wolves out there. Who the alpha dog is, you know who it is. Okay, so you know. With attention constantly on Bosa, Ebukam could have his best season yet, even if only used on a rotational basis. And you know, when you look at all the guys coming off the edge we have, that is going to be one of the most, that's going to be the entertaining. All preseason long. I can't wait till these games get started in preseason. And then it's going to be Mike McGlinchey. I don't care what you think about him. You got to figure this. Prior to a season-ending knee injury in 2021, Mike McGlinchey was playing some of his best football. A lot of people will agree with that. It is reported that Mike was also utilizing a sports psychologist to help him be strong mentally as he was physically. It paid off. You know, all you have to, Mike. I would have told Mike, listen, what you need to do is avoid press conferences, okay? Because you come in, you've got a chip on your shoulder, you're starting to feel a little insecure. You don't want any inferiority complexes developing. Not you. You're a football player. You need to feel like you're large and in charge at all times. I'd make a great psychologist, wouldn't I? I should go and ask the 49ers. Anyway, it is reported that Mike was utilizing a sports psychologist, I mentioned, to help him as strong mentally as he was physically. Remember, Mike had platelet-rich plasma, PRP, injections in his knee during multiple off seasons, but finally had a surgical procedure done after an injury in the middle of last season, as you know about. Had nothing to do with his knee, though. But maybe they took a look at his knee while he was under the knife. Now in a contract year, Big Mike is ready to prove he has what it takes for a sizable contract when he becomes a free agent coming up in 2023. And then you got Jauan Jennings. Oh, yeah. JJ appeared in 16 games, recording 24 receptions for 284 yards and 5 TDs in his first season on the field for the Niners. You know, when Kendrick Bourne left, I was like, oh, my God, man, what are we going to do now? He was so clutch in so many golden moments. JJ provided that same spark. I was impressed. An injury redshirt 2020 appears to have helped JJ be an instant contributor, and that should continue in 2022. JJ will likely be a third down and red zone target, as he mainly was in 2021. He will also compete with Ray McLeod and rookie Danny Gray with the bullets in his belt for wide receiver 3 role. Meanwhile, JJ has already caught the attention of one Charvarius Ward, who was surprised by that JJ physicality and aggressive style of play. Charvarius is, what we got here? You know, yeah, I'm Jauan Jennings, bro. Glad to meet you. Be knocking you around the field for the next few weeks. Hey, let's talk about George Kittle. And yes, he's on the list of guys that got to bring back that box office skill. George Kittle has not broken the 1,000-yard mark since his all-pro season of 2019. and his breakout second season when he recorded 1,377 yards and 5 TDs. Bring that George back. While GK's 910 yards and 6 touchdowns in 2021, that's nothing to be ashamed of course. But we all know GK is capable of a lot more than that. He was on a lot of blocking assignments, a lot. This is why there's no point in crying about what happened with the running back. I don't want to mention his name because I don't want to get anybody, but the guy that went to Miami, one of the greatest running backs the 49ers have ever seen for a short period of time. But anyway, we're looking for a resurgence in his 6th season. GK's former tight end coach John Embry helped him develop his no holds barred aggressive nature on the field. That's where that came from. I thought that was just George. No, that was John Embry that instilled that in him. Now with Brian Fleury as his position coach, GK could be getting the best of both those worlds and a new perspective on the meticulous details that will lead to even greater success on game day. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen to George mentally. This guy, because George, how much do you have to teach George Kittle otherwise, He's pretty much running on his own now. And then there's Emmanuel Mosley, right? Mosley's entering his 5th season with the Niners set to compete for the starting cornerback opposite Javarius. Healthy and armed with plenty of experience, E-Man will have to win the spot over Ambry Thomas and Jason Verrett, but it's going to be tough for Thomas and Verrett, though. I know. We both know that Verrett is an all-pro, and he looked like it. And also, you look at Ambry Thomas, who's coming on like strong and stronger. If that progression continues, where's that going, right? E-Man has started 28 games over 4 seasons and is odds-on favorite for the spot. Most likely, E-Man will have the challenge of being targeted more often than not, as he'll be looked upon as the lesser of two evils between him and Charvarius by most opposing offenses, which is why I think last year E-Man had such a great year. People were going to the Ambry side when he finally came in thinking, why do I have to I ain't deal with Emmanuel? What? Get that rookie up, light him up. Boom, and they did for a minute. It was a hot minute, though. Everybody said, y'all gonna stop doing my way looking disrespecting me. So that's what took place with that. I loved it, especially Matt Stafford can tell you about that. With that in mind, though, E-Man will have the opportunity to record a personal best and takeaways, which is a focus of the defense in 2022. We got to have more INTs. Take the ball away. Come on. We understand what happens up in front of y'all, but come on, cornerbacks, safeties. Let's get a steal here and there. Moses has recorded 1 interception in each of his last 3 seasons. So he is that guy. Now, if he evolves as a player and with maturity, there's no reason not to expect good things, right? And then you got Javon Kinlaw. JV has only appeared in 18 games since the Niners drafted him as that 14th overall pick of the 2020 NFL draft. Now, after Javon K underwent a successful second procedure on his knee, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan both agree that he is happier and healthier than ever as long as you just don't mention Grant Cohn. That was uncalled for. They didn't say that. You know what, though? I do want Grant Cohn to piss him off before every game. Grant should, you know what? Grant should make that his prerogative. He's helping the team. Make Javon, make him crazy angry, but do it from a distance. Do it. Don't get near him, but get him fired up. He does that like nobody's ever. I've never seen anybody get fired up like that. But just like everybody else on the D line, though, Kinlaw needs only to stay healthy to have a breakout season after remaining in Santa Clara and to get dedicating his life to his football future. He was all in. He means it. And there's no reason that Javon Kinlaw's sack total won't be well above his 1.5 career high. You know what? I see 5 minimum. I really do. 5 sacks for Javon this year. Because the hell that's going to be taking place around him between Nick and whoever's on the other side. You can't stop all the middle. You got Eric Armstead in there, too. 5. I'm calling 5 right now. Finally, Trey Lance. Yeah. Trey Lance is set up for success with one of the league's most experienced and talented group of skilled players at his fingertips and disposal. He should do well. After appearing in 6 games during his rookie campaign, Mrs. Lance's baby boy is likely to have ups and downs. I expect that in his first true season as QB1. But hopefully, we can expect much more good than bad. Yeah, I'm starting to warm up to him. I am. I want to see him in preseason before I make my final sigh of relief. But I when I look at everybody that's around him, the coaching he's getting right now, his enthusiasm, I realize he has talent. We might have something special there. Workout sessions with his wideouts away from the facility. That's another thing. Taking all of the first team reps during OTAs, and another season in Shanahan's offense will prove pretty much to be invaluable for Lance's production. Which, it wasn't bad in 2021. In 3 games where T. Lance made at least 15 pass attempts, he had a passer rating of at least 115 in 2 of them. Now, to lend more perspective to that particular number in comparison to other rookies, Mac Jones started for the Pats in all 17 games and only had a passer rating of 115 or higher 4 times. In 12 games, Texans quarterback Davis Mills hit the mark 3 times. Over in Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, the Bears' Justin Fields, and Zachy Wilson over in New York did not hit that benchmark 1 time during their rookie campaigns. So, Vam, give me some feedback. Did I leave anybody out? Did I mention somebody that really doesn't have a prayer? What are you thinking on this? I mean, I can't think of anybody else. If I thought about it, because I figured Drake Jackson, I need to see more of him, and if he's getting how much playing time he's going to get, because that edge unit is really going to be tough to break. He's not going to get cut, but he's going to have to work hard to get in there. We'll see. And there he is. Shabazz! Let's get it, Shabazz.
Ronbo!
Shabazz! Shabazz, we're talking about them box office dudes that's going to come in this year and make a difference. I mentioned a few names. Did you check them out? And did I leave anybody out?
No, I'm listening. You covered the bases. Big years and a good years from everybody. I'm really, can you hear me, Ronbo? I'm really expecting a big year from Kinlaw.
Yeah, are you on your speaker or where are you going?
Yeah, I put my AirPod in. Can you hear me pretty good?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's got a little echo, but I can hear you though. Yeah, it's okay. That's okay. All right. Yeah. No. Kinlaw. I think a lot of us are thinking Kinlaw's go hurt somebody this year. I agree.
Yeah. After he wanted to hurt Grant first.
I want him to keep that mad on. I want him to keep that mad on for 17 weeks. I really do. Have something to prove. If Grant can provide that kind of rage, good. And maybe Grant needs to be paid a little extra money for that.
That'd be nice, Ronbo. But yeah, I'm expecting a big year out of him. I'm expecting a big year out of some of our veterans as well. You know who I'm expecting a big year out of? A lot of people ain't paying attention to. That's in another contract year. The Captain Hitman, Jimmy Ward.
Dub, is it time for him to sign another contract already?
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
This is his last year.
I
think we gave him a 3-year deal when we went to the Super Bowl. So,
that was that year, wasn't it? That's right.
It sure was. So it is time, Ronbo. So I'm expecting a big year out of Jimmy. I'm expecting a big year out of Kinlaw. Of course, our receivers, but I'm telling you who's going to have the biggest year. And I keep telling everybody that I got my eyes on Ayuk, as well as Kittle, of course, but I got my eyes on Ayuk. I think Ayuk third year is going to be a superstar. I think we'll have 2 superstar wide receivers.
That's you know what? He could be the front runner now that you mention it. Because the fact of the matter is, George Kittle, I suspect George has got, he's probably chomping at the bit to get back in the season. He knows his contributions could have been a little bigger last year. But, Kyle Shannon's got to let him loose, too. Stop having him block all the time. Use another one of them tight ends. Charlie Warner is supposed to be very solid as a blocking tight end. Ross Dwelly, not nearly as good as George. We got a couple other guys. That's why Shannon's looking at so many tight ends. Well, yeah, that role has got to be changed for George. Let him Let him get out there and do some more damage with the ball.
Yeah, he will, but, George asks us to block a whole lot. So he loves running the ball because George Kittle is we're cheating. He's a hybrid. He's really an offensive lineman, man. They know how to run routes.
Yeah,
he has fun beating up linebackers and corners.
Yeah, he enjoys that, don't
laughing and he's always having fun when he pancake one of them guys. But the guy, you got to think, see, everybody's keyed in and on, like I keep telling everybody that they sleeping on, is Ayuk, because Debo will garner so much attention. Okay, so we got the rookie coming in, which we don't know what the rookie will be and can be. But I hope for, like I'm saying, in that first preseason game, when we get Trey for 3 plays or 4 plays, I want to see one stretch play. I want to see that rookie take the top off of everybody because I want Shanahan to put that on tape. So when week 1 comes, when week 2 comes against Chicago, when week 3 comes against Denver, everybody's afraid, like, whoa, we saw this rookie that can run real fast.
Yes.
And everybody will fall asleep on Ayuk.
Yes.
And Ayuk will cause him and Jennings that middle of the field will be opened up like a kid with a crayon box.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere. Routes everywhere. You know what a kid with a crayon box do, Ronbo?
Oh.
He colors up a whole sheet, man.
I'm telling you, and that's why this kid, if we could just get Mr. Gray to do his thing, we got to find a way. Don't send him to the same shops that Deshaun attends, but send him somewhere to keep them hamstrings loose. He's got to have that thing straight.
Right.
This is the only thing I worry about Shabazz is all these speedsters run 4.3. Their hamstrings just can't endure all that stress.
Yeah, that is fast to be running, but if you're only on that 9 route 4 times a game, you ain't got to be on it 10 times a game. And again, that's just like I said, remember he's a rookie, so to just have those safeties scared. So when he lightweight run that 9 route and he passed the corner, you take 2 safeties or 1 deep and stretch them up the field, and you leaving Jennings, Devo, and Ayuk in the middle of a field.
That's the science.
Oh my God, and Kittle.
Oh,
because like you said the last time before, Ronbo, you cannot try to put no spy on Trey Lance, because if you do, oh my goodness. So now you're down.
That screen.
Another man in the secondary, but it's gonna get ugly. And I think we will, like how I said, I think the 49ers will be top. Take this to the bank. We will be top 3 in rushing. We will be 1 through 3. We will not be 4. We will be 1 through 3, and we will average. I'm going on a limb here. Everybody don't think I'm crazy. We will average 27 points a game.
Yes.
A game.
That means there's gonna be a couple of
blowouts. Don't let the defense have a game or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Of course it will. Of course it will be a couple of blowouts. But I'm telling you, there will not be a week if Trey Lance is healthy that the 49ers don't put up 27 points.
All right.
Take me to the bank on that. That's the 49ers average, Ronbo.
All right.
Shout out to you as always. Shout out to production. Shout out to you, Ronbo, for getting me on early tonight, baby.
It's a Dave.
You didn't leave your man Shabazz waiting, man.
Pure pleasure too, Phil.
And shout out to everybody that got love for me in the chat. Shout out to my boy Leon in SoCal. Shout out to my people in Memphis. And as always, how I leave it. Bang, bang, not a gang.
All right. Shabazz, always delightful to hear from you. All right? Maybe back tomorrow.
All right, bro.
All right. Have a great night, fam. It's the ride down Bama way. And Rod, are you ready?
I'm ready.
For the ride. Roll Tide. Ride. Come on in, man. Good to hear from you.
What it do, Ronbo? What it do, Ronbo?
Yeah, we looking at them dudes. Just go. You get to charge extra money to get into this box office game now, man. Because like the 49ers, we got some players that could really ruin any chance the team has coming against us if they reach a little further beyond what they've been doing. And all these guys, they all got huge potential to do that.
Yeah. Well, Ronbo, I'm like you, man. I'm skeptical. my biggest concern is going to be that offensive line.
Oh.
But the skill set players, I'm feeling pretty confident, man.
Yeah.
I hope it all unfolds the correct way on the football field.
You know how we do. You know what this means, Rod? Next year, we'll be 49ers in the second round draft offensive linemen. See, the 49ers, they've been doing this, like I said, brick by brick. We built a run game this year. We built that secondary. We put focus on the secondary. There's always that one unit that we always scratch our head about. They're going to be okay, man. Can they hold up their end? I mean, offensive line. We're right. They'll be okay.
Hey, Ronbo. Man, I mean, you think about it, like those years when we lost the guy that was playing center who got hurt. The one that had the big contract, I forgot his name.
From New York.
I think,
the guy we got from the Giants.
New York.
Yeah. Oh.
Right.
Yeah. He did a good
job.
But
I remember Ben Garland replaced him.
Yeah.
And
okay.
We was all worried about that season. If I'm not mistaken, that same season we went to the Super Bowl, didn't we?
Yeah. True. So we have a way of getting around those weak spots. Oh.
Yeah. But I mean, the one thing that has always defined this organization, especially since Kyle has been there, is the coaching. For the most part, the coaches have gotten their guys prepared. This is a preparation team, so I got confidence in Kyle. The big thing now is I think he has enough coaches in to prevent him from allowing his ego to get in the way. Because I mean, that's not to say that Kyle is just an egotistical coach, but it happens to the best of those offensive geniuses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, really, probably
Anthony Lynn.
Yeah.
I think Lynn will help keep that balanced out. I really do believe that because it really does look like this team is going more towards the power game.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think he respects Lynn enough to listen. I always wonder who Kyle, because Mike McDaniel, I think he believed in Mike because he knew Mike was just a brilliant dude. But I'm not sure if at the end of the day he would listen to Mike and say, "Yeah, Mike, I'm gonna go ahead with my gut on this one." And McDaniel probably was absolutely right on several different occasions, key moments too. But yeah, he'll have more respect for Anthony Lynn. I'm hoping.
Yeah, not to mention, Kyle called his own plays when McDaniel was the offensive coordinator. I think he just more correlated the offensive running game than he was an offensive coordinator. So, I think Lynn.
You think Coach will give that? I mean, will Shanahan give that up though? You think he'd stop the play calling? I wonder if he didn't trust anybody on the team to take care of the play calling, other than him.
That's a good question. I seriously don't see Kyle giving up the play calling. I think he trusts his scheme too much, and he's
had success.
The play caller
a lot,
right? So I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but like I said before, that would be my biggest concern. It's just sometimes when you're the offensive coordinator, or the better yet, the play caller in his situation, because he's the head coach. Sometimes I think they can get a little too cute with the play calling because they're more concerned about being called an offensive genius than just going out there and winning the football game or taking what the defense gives. So,
Rod, a lot of times Kyle, in his mind, those X's and O's are moving 100 miles an hour while he's looking down on that field, right? He actually anticipates sometimes what a defense is going to do because he's well versed in defense, so he knows how they're going to react to what he's doing. But if anybody on the field does something knuckleheadish, that could throw a wrench into things. A lot of times I think it could be the players goofed up too. He had it all figured out, and they went zigged when they should have zagged or something. I figure it's more than just him.
I tell you what, though, Ronbo. Now, it got mentioned after the game, but it doesn't really get mentioned much when you just talk about Kyle's track record. But I think you started to really see Kyle grow into his own when we were in the playoffs and we beat Green Bay in that NFC Championship game. Not last season, but the first season when he saw that he was wearing Green Bay's defense down with the running game and just stuck with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Now, to his credit, that season, I think Jimmy Garoppolo threw like 27 touchdowns and 10 picks only. So it's like, you know, the fact that he just kept running the football. I've never seen that in this modern age of football.
Especially now.
Know that the running game is working. It just keeps going. Yeah. And I mean, you know, I wish we saw that more out of Kyle.
You know, that's what he does. He takes advantages. It's like Chuck Norris in that movie when he told that dude, "I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg me for a left." You know, Chuck Kyle. That's what Kyle does. He's gonna run. If you can't stop the run, I'm gonna make you bleed. You know, because running takes off the clock. It wears your people out. It keeps your people on the field.
Right.
You know, all of that is just poison for the opposing team. So, you know, if you can't stop the run, we're going to kill you.
Yeah. And I think, you know, the biggest piece to this puzzle is now hopefully my bad, I can't get my words out. But the play action game, because of the run, can open up a lot more of those throws that us 49er fans were used to seeing during the era of Joe and Steve. You know, maybe we can get back to that because of that running game and because this quarterback is supposedly got the ability to throw the ball with some accuracy down the field. I mean, we'll see, man. That's what I'm hoping for.
We don't have Mostert, so, you know, we have to realize Mostert was special. You're not going to get that kind of running back, so you're going to have to throw the ball now. Mostert, God, Jesus Christ. Rod, you and I both, we've seen a lot of running backs, talented running backs. Mostert, he's never going to get the respect because of his only one time, but I don't remember seeing anybody do that. Not like that. That was ridiculous. And Green Bay defense wasn't that poor, but Mostert made him look bad. Ooh, that's...
Yeah. But you know what, man? Mostert, as far as this running game that Kyle was running then, his vision was just perfect.
It was ridiculous.
You know, when he saw the lane, he made his choice quick. And once he made it, he was gone.
And could run behind the tackles almost perfectly. You know, Rod, you know, if you played defense, you're trying to make a play, and the blocking scheme is such, even if I shift right, left, he's going to go the opposite way. That was Mostert's ability to do that. I felt that horror. I knew what the defense would feel. Oh, there's nothing you're going to be able to do. He's too fast. And he's making those moves before you can make your move. You're dead meat. Pull a muscle. Act like you don't know what. You don't embarrass yourself. Let him go. Woo! God! Oh, he was fast.
What the hope would be that, you know, our 6th-round pick from a year ago, who also was last year's rusher for us, Elijah Mitchell, running the 4.3 at the combine.
Yeah.
I think his biggest problem last season, outside of, you know, just being healthy for the game, was just the vision wasn't there because he's a rookie. So a lot of times he anticipated. Yeah, you know, he didn't anticipate correctly.
Yeah.
And, you know, it would be nice, man. Maybe in year 2, he gets better at that.
He learned some things last year, I'm pretty sure, first year in the pros. So, you know, and not bad for his first year in the pros. He almost clipped 1,000 yards. That's saying something. So I think he'll be okay. He's got to stay out of the hospital and on his feet. If he does, and we got that big guy to take some of them licks, I think we'll be okay with him. We'll see. Well, Rod, as usual, good to hear from you again. Maybe back tomorrow. I'm looking for subject matter if there's something to talk about. But I hope hopefully be back tomorrow. For sure, be back Friday. All right.
Well, I will definitely keep my eyes open for you, Rumbo.
All right, fam. Appreciate that. All
It,
right, Rod.
it,
Have a
it's
great
been
night, fam.
good, baby. Let me get that exit to the door.
Gotcha. Niner! Big Rod. Good night, Rod.
All right. Catch you next one, Rumbo.
Looking forward to it, fam. Oh, no. A Seahawk checked in. Why? If you're a Seahawk, why don't you hide? Why would you want anybody to see you? Hey, Emilio! Drew Lock is a Niners stopper? Why are the Hawks here today? They haven't been coming over here. Emilio! What in the world? God, that's ridiculous. First thing you know, hey, it's Rowan.
What is up, Ronbo? How you doing?
Rohan, doing fine, man. You're watching the clock tick down, watching the dates fall off the calendar, get them out of here. Let's get to the end of the month, you know?
Yeah, I mean, training camp starts. I have been out and about traveling, doing my thing. That's why I haven't been on in about a week or so. But
Yeah, I noticed that your last article was a few days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I started writing because I was on the clock starting, I think, yesterday. So
Okay.
now, today, yesterday, and tomorrow, I'll be writing a good amount of stuff.
All right. And we also have the Rohan Chuck. You know, Ron, I had your name. I was practicing your name one day for like a half an hour, right? I said, "Better get Rohan's name right. I'm not going to say it wrong again." Wait, don't tell me. Don't tell me. This is Chuck.
Go for it.
Wait, I put that here. Wait a minute. Oh God, where did I put it? I got a lot of notes here. Oh, there he is. It's Rowan Chuck Rovarthy.
Perfect.
All right.
Sometimes you say it better than I say it myself. So
I remember the first time you pronounced it for me. You said, "Yeah, I struggle with it a bit myself." That's the best thing. I know, funny. So I loved it. Rowan, you know what? I mentioned a bunch of names. You probably already know about that as well. Of Matt Miyako, he and Jennifer went over a bunch of players that are pretty much you can look forward to them exploding this year. You probably already know who he mentioned. Did they leave anybody out? Did they put somebody on that list that probably should not be on the list? Nick Bosa is probably questionable in my mind to some degree, but I suspect Nick's going to come in with a chip on his shoulder saying, I'm going to have to gain a little more respect this year. Unless I actually do an actual homicide, I guess I'm going to get overlooked. So Nick's got to he doesn't say anything. He's a quiet, silent kind of guy. But what are you thinking, Rowan?
Yeah. What's the list? I know Trey Lance was on there. I know Nick was on there.
Charles Omenihu
on there as well. Omenihu was on there.
Omenihu. I got Trey's on there. Javon and Emmanuel Mosley and George Kittle. George Kittle could be one of the comeback kids, right along with Nick. Even though it's funny because Nick had 19 sacks last season, and we're expecting more.
Right.
But he's coming off an ACL. Rowan, how many human beings come off of that kind of injury and come back and to have a season like that? Well, other than running back from the Vikings, he had a banner year his next year, but it's not normally what human beings do. They come back, it takes a year, and then the following year, you're feeling yourself as you did maybe before.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting. A trend that I've been noticing recently in pro sports, a lot of players, any sport, have been getting like ACL tears, right? But coming back perfectly fine, and almost even better than they were before physically.
Modern
medicine. We saw that with Nick Bosa last year. Yeah, it's modern medicine. We saw that with Nick Bosa last year, and what I'm hoping is we see similar with Javon Kinlaw, for him to just remain healthy for the entire year. He worked with the staff that worked with Bosa last year, and you saw what wonders that did. So hopefully, I guess I can understand why Kinlaw's name is on that list, because, when you get that connection, when you get what Kinlaw's been saying about his shape this entire offseason, and when you get that he's above He's working ahead of schedule and should be ready for training camp. I think those are all pluses to attribute to the fact that he is going to be our starting defensive tackle for the first time with a actual defensive line around him. Right in 2020, remember Bosa tore his ACL. We had Solomon Thomas out. Our Armstead was forced to be on the outside. So it's really guys like Contavious Street and Kevin Givens playing on that interior. I think this is now Kinlaw's finally his time where he can really make the most of his opportunity around such talented players.
And the thing is, you have to wonder if he's going to be able to beat out and stay in the middle. Because we've got some players. I don't know that. I'm looking at Omenihu. I'm looking at him as my dark horse favorite on certain rounds because of his length, and I believe he can play the interior. I think he can be the Arden Key this year. We'll see about that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Speed, sometimes over muscle, because Kinlaw provides a lot of size.
Really, that pop out really for me in that role, and that's one you mentioned, Omenihu, and it's Jordan Willis. I think those two are in a neck-by-neck competition. The winner of that will be facing an extended amount of snaps in that Arden Key type of role.
And if that happens, there's no place for an offense to run. Rohan, there's nothing that can. This is the deepest defensive line that Shanahan has had since his arrival in San Francisco. There is no rest on this line for any team. Everybody that's out there at all times, it's just no let up.
Yeah, there isn't really. There really isn't that much room for it. And on top of that, I mean, now you have a revamped secondary where you have Charvarius Ward as a part of it, meaning the one part where you could have exploited before. Like, teams tried last year when you saw against the 49ers, the first thing they tried, I can go specifically to week 13 against the Seattle Seahawks. The first thing they tried to combat this defensive line, throw a bunch of bubble screens, hope they don't tackle well. But the 49ers, when you go back to the film, that first half, I remember in the first quarter, Seattle had negative yardage. And then in the first half, Seattle had maybe 18 or like 30 yards. It was a very low number that they had in total in that first half. It was only in the second half where they really went along because of special teams miscues by the 49ers. But what I'm trying to say is, in that first half, Seattle tried to beat the 49ers defensive line by forcing them to move out in space, throwing a bunch of screen passes and forcing the 49ers to tackle, but they tackled well. I think that tackling is still there. You got the linebackers, you got the secondary that doesn't really miss tackles that much. So you've got those two positions ramped up. And then on top of that, the second way that teams beat the 49ers was via the pass game sometimes, right? Try and exploit that second cornerback opposite of Emmanuel Mosley, whoever that might have been. And now you can't do that.
Yes. This is one of the things I'm going to be looking for in game week 1. I'm going to say, okay, last year you went opposite of the best corner we had, and last year Ambry Thomas was that candidate. Now, if you got E-Man and Charvarius, go ahead. Where are you going to throw it? I can't wait to see who are they going to exploit, because I suspect E-Man's going to evolve. He's got a lot of heat under him now. You build a fire under a guy with this kind of skill set, I still believe he's going to evolve even to the next level. Because Mosley, who came in as a UDFA, has proven they made a mistake. He should have been drafted.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mosley really broke out last year. A lot of people are thinking Mosley's going to break out this year. I honestly thought that season was last year. The only reason people might not believe it as much is because Mosley was injured, right? So he only played in 12 games. Oh. For me, the breakout isn't necessarily with talent. If Mosley can stay healthy for the season, then I'm very content. Because Mosley's shown that he can be that talented guy. He can lock up in man coverage. Hell, he did it against the top guys like DK Metcalf, right? And even DeAndre Hopkins at times. So I think that Mosley is I think he's got it, especially now that he only covers number 2s with Charvarius Ward being that number 1 guy. But to me,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly.
His role will shift. He doesn't have to take the badass on the other team. They'll be going they'll be coming at him. This is going to be interesting. And I got to tell you though, Rowan, I still love me some Ambry Thomas. I think his potential is off the hook. I want to see more of him next year. I suspect they may platoon him in certain situations, but or we'll put in like
Yeah,
all those
I would
sets where we
like
have to
that
put in 3
too.
and 4 cornerbacks at one time.
I know, like we don't always agree, but that's one place where we both agree and that we both really do like Ambry Thomas. I do too. I thought he did improve last year. I know a lot of people aren't always fans of him, but I did think he improved last year. And I think, especially in a limited role with the people that he has around him, that he's going to be put in a position to succeed. But also, the one thing is when you have those people around him, guess what defenses are going to look at when Ambry Thomas hits the field? You're going to try and pick on Ambry Thomas as much as they can, right? So that's the one thing where I think the 49ers might be wary of playing him a ton because just to not throw him out in the fire as much. But I think he's capable of it. I think Ambry Thomas has the chance to play a productive role as that cornerback. He's essentially the cornerback number 4. And given the likely injuries that'll happen at some point, he probably will play an extended role along guys like Dante Johnson this year.
Who's going to play the slot? Have you thought about that any length? Because I like what I see in Womack. I even like the guy whose name starts with a Q.
Quantrez Knight?
Yeah, his resume says he can play this game. We'll find out more about him in the preseason, but I looked at all the things he's achieved. I said, you know what, this guy, is it size? What is it? Speed? Is he slow?
Right, and the fact that he's versatile. He can play safety and cornerback as well.
Yeah.
Quantrez Knight, he's a good player for sure. I don't know if he makes the roster just because I think 49ers probably feel confident that they can stash him on the practice squad.
Yeah.
But talking about the slot corner, I do think Samuel Womack definitely has a good shot to make to not only make the roster, but obviously win the job as well. I think honestly, he's a guy that a lot of not only did the 49ers like him, but I think a lot of teams probably liked him in the process. And I think he's got all the traits they want to play man coverage, right? When you talk about, not Ambry Thomas, when you talk about Samuel Womack, he's fast, he's got long arms, he is 190 pounds, meaning he can probably fit well in the slot role. And that speed attribute is very important because the 49ers require their slot corners to blitz a lot more than other slot corners. And so that's going to be very helpful, that build to fulfill that role.
There's a lot of guys trying out for that job. Last year's pick in the draft, smaller guy, goes by the name of Cheetah. What's his name again?
Last year, say that again?
Yeah, the one that goes by the name of, or does he go by? Does he go by? He has a nickname. He's not that fleet of foot. He started off the season looking pretty good, and then got exposed.
Oh, are you
Ronbo?
Are you talking about a rookie?
Yeah. Tony, what was his name?
Ronbo, Tyreek Hill.
Oh no, not him. The other smaller rookie that got drafted last year. Cornerback, small.
Oh, Lenore?
Oh, yeah. I think that's the guy. That's the one.
Yeah, Diamador Lenore.
Diamador. Yeah. Dio, I had a lot of high hopes from him in the beginning because I thought he had a lot of heart, right? He came in and he was doing a number on a couple of wide receivers that I didn't think he had that capability. I said, if he can do that, he can play in this league. And then, of course, we saw him in a game because 49ers believed him in the beginning, and then he got kind of abused.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, Diamador Lenore, he had a good start, right? I mean, he had a pretty good preseason, I'd say. But Lenore really hasn't shown too much outside of that, right? And I think it's pretty clear what the 49ers think of him, at least at this moment, right? He could definitely shock in training camp. But the 49ers elected to start Darqueze Dennard over him last year in Week 18. That's the example I point to. Dennard was on the team for a week and a half. Lenore was on the team for the entire year. They claimed Dennard off the practice squad, and they went with Darqueze for 32% of the snaps. The one other thing, I just don't think they're confident in his special teams ability as well. I don't think they view him as a pretty good tackler, and that's important on special teams. And when he can't play one role or the other, I don't know what his role is for the future
Yeah,
with this
he's-
team, and I don't even know if he makes the roster for this year. If we're being totally honest.
I did the same thing. I picked him as a casualty. I don't see him making it this year. Because they picked up too many guys, and there's really I don't know how he's going to win. We'll
Exactly.
find out though. Hey, Rowan, it's always a pleasure. I bet you're glad to be back in the football since you've taken that break and all rested, ready to roll.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, what better way to just chop it up here on a Tuesday night? Just chop it up, talking some football. That's
Hey,
pretty nice.
It all you need now is a pizza and you're ready to roll, right?
Yes.
Well, I may be back tomorrow, depending upon what you put out. I take leads off you and about 3 other people. So looking forward.
All right. Check in the morning. I'll see if I have something for you.
All right, Rowan. Have a great night too. All right, fam.
Good night, man.
There is Rowan Chuck Ravarthi, the man, 49er Web Zone. Rowan's always got good stuff going on. He's the thinking man's writer, I call him. Rowan always, when you're reading Rowan, you're sitting thinking, damn, that's true. That's true. Whoa. That's why I bring a lot of his stuff to the table. It's Donut Nation. Donut.
Rombo. We're back.
I know. I was looking for y'all the other day, and I couldn't get you. You must have passed out. I made you wait too long or something. I don't know. But we kept calling the
No, our
donut.
phone got disconnected. We heard you, but our phone got disconnected, so we weren't able to talk back. But we heard you. We were like, oh, we're listening, Ronbo. We're listening.
Well, I'm glad we got you in here today then. And the subject matter today, we're looking at people who are going to be, who's the biggest box office star in America right now? Let's see. Well, we know it ain't Will Smith.
Especially after you slapped the shot at Chris Rock. You know that.
The boy's popularity. Sponsors cut him loose. Whoa, you went too far there, Willie. So, yeah. But, I want
to the lineup, before we get into everything, we just want to say that we started off late, just like last time, for a couple of days, because we're not even in California right now. We're all the way out here in Minnesota.
So, you guys vacationing?
The time is different compared to the West Coast where we normally used to. So that's when we caught you, and we was the last caller on, and we was like, damn, so
late.
many times you try to about.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, you all move out to Minnie, or you're just out there visiting?
We're visiting. My family's out here. I moved to California when I was 8 with my mom, so came back to see family and spend some time out here and just enjoy the weather, because California is so freaking hot right now. Oh my God!
I tell you. And you know what's so funny? Because you went to Minnie at a time when the wintertime, as you know, is record breaking cold. So I was saying, whoa!
Hell yeah!
It reminds me of a friend of mine that I met at school. He's a student out from Chicago, and he said, you know what? Even if I wouldn't have came to this school, I was gonna get the hell up out of Chicago. I mean, it's a beautiful city, but the hawk would come rolling down the streets, man, and there wasn't no place to hide. We didn't know what a hawk was, Hawk.
That's right.
What is that?
Right.
When? Oh, it could be 2 degrees. The hawk come rolling down the hill. Now you got a chill factor of -40, and he's getting all excited.
That's right.
I know, man. All she can do is layer up.
Yes, but we think the blockbuster star is going to be this year. We think it's going to be Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying? Since we out here in Trey Lance country, since he's from Minnesota.
Is he actually
you guys
that
think?
area? Yeah.
So we're going to take a blessing from there. We didn't go past the Viking Stadium yet, but when we do, if we do before we leave on day, we will give it for the 49er Empire. You understand me? We do see them in week 2 in preseason, but we'll be at home at the time. But yeah,
we will be going for our team, because that's bang bang Niner game all day, baby.
There you go. and now that you mentioned Trey could be as who's that to mention? Somebody said Tom Cruise, but Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Dwayne may be. He's called the franchise saver. If you got a movie that's been running sequel after sequel after sequel, and it's doing okay but not great, you bring in The Rock. All of a sudden, it's box office top. He's amazing doing that. So
Yes,
it could be Trey this year.
he will. I think it's gonna be. I mean, he ain't. You know what I'm saying? Just let him let him do what he needs to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say it's gonna be a blockbuster year, because if he do what he needs to do, everybody else is going to follow. Defense is going to do their thing. Special teams just step up like he did at the end of the year, and it's a team effort. So let Trey lead slowly but surely, but everybody follow, because we said we got too many weapons around him for him not to shine a little bit. The offensive line is going to do great because the silverback is going to talk to everybody. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be like,
talk to him a long time, please. Take him out to dinner.
Yes. He going, that's what he's going to do. He's going to take him over to his house, feed him all tomahawks, and with the big broccoli and everything. And he's going to be like, look here, fella, we got to get this together. George Kittle got tied in university. We're going to start the old lineman foundation, goddamn it. Now, look here. This is going to be the wall like the Great Wall of China. It's never been broken. This wall's not going to be broken. We're going to protect Trey Lance. We're going to overrun anybody that need to make a run, and nobody going to stop us. So, look here. If anybody go down, next man up, and y'all better play like the first up, or else I'm going to put this big old silverback foot in each of y'all's butt.
You need to add that part. You got to do that. Because, and he's got to open up by saying, you probably heard what they're saying about us. They believe that we may be the weak link this year, and we ain't having that. I'm not having that. You're not having that. You're just going to go out and fire him up, And Mike McGlinchey is going to get paid this year. I'm looking for Mike McGlinchey to have a good year.
Me too, man. NFL is all about surprises. Why not us get surprised? It's our turn. Come on, Mike McGlinchey, surprise us. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Kinlaw, I'm going to be rocking the jersey all year. Surprise us. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that had injury going to come back super strong like Bosa did. Like the last caller, I'm confident. Let's go ahead and ball out. Let's go ahead and get these wins. And Trey Lance, like I say, is my pick for the blockbuster player of the year. He ain't got to be Super Bowl. He ain't got to be Joe Montana or Steve Young. Just be the young man who you can be, and everybody's going to follow around. Trust me.
Just ball out and shine bright. Show us what you can do.
And give me some love for your expectations on Javon Kinlaw. I suspect Kinlaw, who's already fired up, ready. If they could play today, Javon Kinlaw would have to be brought out in a cage and have to let him out. He couldn't because he couldn't be around people. The man is obsessed.
Oh, I agree. He's going to need some chains. He's going to need some chains on his wrist to shackle him up. They're going to have to bring him out like Hannibal Lecter. He's going to be hungry every game. He's going to be like, he's going to have a menu. This quarterback, I'm going to take
around the mouth.
This quarterback takes some legs. This quarterback takes some legs. So he's going to have a full menu for everything. As long as you have the biscuits and greens with it, Kinlaw's going to eat it.
Get some side pork in there. Got to have a little bit of meat.
Yeah.
See, because the thing is, you got guys that really have something to prove this year. Javon's already went on record of saying as much. Trey, of course, wants to come out and do well. So you mentioned him. That was a very good candidate. If you look up, even though Nick Bosa already does great work, for some odd reason, people who make these decisions to give out awards and things like that at the end of the year, they don't want to put Nick's name on the list. They put Joey's name on the list. All of them, PFF, some of these others. But why are they not putting Nick on there? And you're right. I hope they messed up doing that. And I hope Nick, who's like that silent but deadly individual, because Nick doesn't talk. Nick doesn't talk. Everything you see about Nick happens on the field. What is he thinking?
That's right. I'm thinking the same thing, Ronbo. He's going to be like that one president. I speak softly, but I carry a big stick. And he go up outside all the quarterbacks. And I use it too, boom.
And you know what I want to see at the end of the year? Don't I want to see at the end of the year, 49ers into the Super Bowl, win it, and Nick's got about 23 sacks total on the year, including the playoffs. And he gets up and he finally gets down. You guys want to disrespect me for years. I've came into this league and I did a good job, and last year I did a good job. And you sons of a, hey, Nick, somebody go up there and contain him. I can see Nick completely loses it on the podium. Take this! And he gives him a big finger. I'm talking Italian style. He just get right. I love it. I said, good.
And you know the media gonna be all over it. Grant Cohn is gonna be all over it. But you know what? I'm gonna support it, Ronbo.
Ditto. Me too. 'Cause, man, there's that shit.
Man, speak loud, man. Play hard and speak loud, man. That's what the Empire's about this year.
You know,
it's gonna be lovely.
Yes, beautiful.
And George Kittle, George has got some. George has got a. I don't see him having the same role as a tight end in Kansas City, but I need to see a little more respect for George. George enjoys what he does. He doesn't have a complaint. George will block all day if it's causing the run game to take off and we're winning ball games. But I do want to see him with more of that highlight reel stuff going on out there, you know? Because I know he can do it.
You know what? He's going to have the year like when Nick Mullins was quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing Trey Lance can do, from what I've seen, he could spread the ball evenly all around. You know what I'm saying? Just work on his little accuracy. I think he did that this off season. But he's going to Kittle's going to be offered a whole lot of targets because you can't have a player do the same thing every year. You know what I'm saying? And Kittle was that blocking tight end. He proved that. But he's going to want his money too. He's going to make it to he's going to want to make it to the Pro Bowl besides the blocker tight end. He's going to want that year.
But he's
not going on tight end record if he can.
He's not going to Pro Bowl. He'll get nominated. I mean, not nominated. He'll be elected to the Pro Bowl, but he'll be too busy working out for Super Bowl 57.
Exactly. That's what we want. That's what we want. Get elected to the Pro Bowl, but be too damn busy to play for the Super Bowl. Baby. That's right. You can be mentioned, but you can't play because you're in the Super Bowl.
Because you busy, man.
Send my respects to. Hey, where are they playing this year? The Pro Bowl. It's not in Hawaii anymore.
Not in Hawaii. I think is it in Las Vegas this year?
Oh,
I think that's where it is.
I think you're right. Because the Super Bowl's not in Vegas; it's in Arizona. I think you're right. I think you're right.
I think the Pro Bowl's in Vegas this year. I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
but shout out to Trey Lance, you know, because we out here in Minnesota before we get up out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wish we could visit his old Sober Grounds, his high school, but it's kind of dangerous in certain areas, so we're going to keep it close and safe by the lake. Shout out to the faithful. Shout out to the productions. Sorry we missed y'all last couple of calls, man.
No.
You know, the time is different.
I understand
One more thing, man. Hey, I missed the show on the 24th, man, and that was my birthday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
24th is June, right?
I turned to half a century with 2 pennies, man.
Wait, you cannot. Now you messed up. You can't leave now. Happy birthday to the donut. Happy birthday, glazed old-fashioned or chocolate covered. Happy Niners birthday to the donut. Happy Niners! Applause for Donut's birthday. You and Tanisha have a good time while y'all in Minnie.
Hey.
Show you right, man. Show you right. Thank you, Ronbo.
Thank you, Ronbo.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Damn. That was not. That was real not.
Y'all stay safe out there. Looking forward to you getting back here. Maybe back tomorrow if the subject matter is good, or be back Friday for sure.
We're going to try and catch you.
Well, if we're not, we'll be back in California on Friday. We'll definitely hit you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we go back on Friday.
Looking forward. All right, y'all. Have a good night.
Take care. Be safe. Thanks, Ronbo. You too.
Bye, faithful.
Bye. There he goes. Donut and Tanisha. Emilio. Emilio.
What's happening?
You know, man, we're just looking at going through some of these names, man. Looking at the guys that are probably going to have above average. Who's going to be the Dwayne Rock Johnson this year? Who's going to be Tommy Cruise? You know what? We may have a new box office star. Thor is coming out here in a couple of days.
I'm going with
who's going to be Thor?
I'm going with Johnny Depp. He just beat the case. I'm going with Johnny Depp.
I forgot about Johnny D. He did win his last big matchup, didn't he?
He's about to make $300 million from Disney. Don't go with Johnny Depp. Big money man.
Whoa. Well, mess with the bull, get the horns. I feel sorry for Miss Amherst, but my God, she should have came in with a better case. Well, let's not get into that because But anyway, here you go, Johnny. Who's gonna be the Johnny Depp this year? You got a bunch of names to choose from, Emilio. Who do you like busting out this year?
My two, but I'm a two sticker them. Trey Lance, Brandon Ayuk. Something about them too. Something tells me they're gonna be the hardest holding team this year. Something about them too.
You sound like you're not supporting Debo's efforts. And when you get through with that, tell me when are they going to pay Debo?
I've said it before, and I talked about this. I'm like, the only reason Debo did what he did is because Raheem was not on that field. If Raheem was on that field, Debo still would have got his yards, his passing yards, but it's just with Ayuk there, he's been practicing with Ayuk. It just looks like, they're getting that chemistry going. It just looks like Ayuk, they're going to ball out. Everybody keeps saying he was in the doghouse. I still don't think he was in the doghouse. Jimmy couldn't get that man the ball. No matter what Jimmy did, he could not get him the ball. He just couldn't. And when he did,
for 800 yards,
Jimmy was thrown in traffic. I mean, you still got to look at every time he threw the ball. Sometimes he didn't want to catch the ball because Jimmy's over there throwing in the danger zone. I was like, not even Jerry would do that. I mean, Jerry was faster. He wasn't the fastest guy, but he was able to make you miss. Joe would hit him where he wouldn't get hit.
So a lot of those things that Shanahan said, you don't believe it, do you?
No, I don't. I just think it was just talk. I really do think it was
For what?
Talk. I really do. Like I said, you can tell some of the times Shanahan was irritated at Jimmy throwing the ball where he wasn't supposed to throw it. I'm like, dude,
so you go after Ayuk?
What? You're not gonna blame the quarterback. I was like, you gotta find a way out.
Kyle didn't have any problem. He got embarrassed Jimmy right on TV. You know what, though? Emilio, you got to remember one thing. Ayuk was not going to be a wide receiver one. They worked on Debo all week long, every week for a while. Ayuk was wide receiver two.
He might become number one. I have a feeling he's going to become the number one. After this season, he's going to be, maybe mid-season he'll be number one. I really think so. Something tells me that he's going to become number one over Debo. That's why I partially think they haven't paid him.
Mm. I hope so, because if he does well, I know Debo's going to get his. Then I know that offense is going to be lit.
Well, he might not get his. Because he's still on the contract, so they can say, you know what? Let's flip this up and give it to Ayuk. So, because you got to look at it. If we have both, let's say Ayuk has one hell of a year.
You're setting the table for us. Like, this is going to be fun this year because I'm going to tell you after every game. I'm going to say, hey, Emilio, didn't I tell you back in July Debo was still not going to be stopped? I mean, Ayuk is doing a good job out there, but Debo is still the most dangerous man on the field, not named George Kittle.
But at the same time, we've gotten players that, you got to look at Ray Ray. Ray Ray can do what Debo did. That's what he's meant for.
No, he can't.
I'm not saying he's nowhere near.
Come on now.
Hey. Put it like this. Let's say he does. Let's say he does this year.
Okay.
You're going to be like, Debo's so replaceable. You're going to be like, okay, you're going to be like, well,
Emilio, we ain't had this kind of conversation in a long time. Ray McLeod is not going to overshadow no Debo Samuel. Come on now.
You never know.
I do.
Hey, Debo's only had, as long as Debo's been on the team, he's only had one good year. So, you don't know.
He was not healthy.
I'm just good.
Have to. Yeah, he's been like everybody else on this team. They got to get hurt.
And then he's over there gaining weight. What happened his first year?
I am worried about that, though.
Second year, he got hurt. He gained weight and he got hurt. He's at it again. So what are we going to do? We're going to have a hurt Debo again?
You know what?
Look at these possibilities.
Nobody's going to talk about him worse than me. If Debo comes up lame in week 1 or 2, anytime between week 1 and 5, I'm mad as hell. Debo, you know what? While you was running around with your lips all stuck out, pouting, mad about your money, now look what you did. You weren't training. See now, oh man, set your ass
Like
down.
I said, I'm a big Debo fan. I'm all for Debo. I want him to get paid, but he's been slacking with just a tiny little bit. And
No, he's got to
any
focus.
leverage that anybody else can get on that team, Debo's gonna be like, what did I just do to myself? Yeah.
Yeah, but Debo is a game changer. He's already proven that, and we need him. I want to beat teams up.
I
If
still
Debo's
believe
on,
he's replaceable. To me, Debo's replaceable. He's replaceable.
Emilio,
A lot of players have done what he's done before.
I think you have
People like
gone
you.
to the dark side, where people say because a player doesn't want to is having trouble signing his contract or whatever, and now he's complaining. You have made up your mind that we can do without him. No, we Emilio, stop.
Yes, we can. Hey,
no.
and if we do, okay, let's say we do, and then what? And you're going to be like, damn, I was right. You're going to go back.
I'm going to tell you you're right.
I guess Emilio was right again.
Emilio, you've been right before, and I came back and told you it was right. I'll be telling you you're right. I'll be mad as hell because Debo, and if we're not doing as well as we could, but I'll tell you, yeah, you was on the money with Debo, man. He fooled around there, worried about his money, forgot to train. God.
He's on that route again. He's forgetting the train. Like, you need to stop complaining. Like, dude, I know you want to get paid. Like I said, I keep saying, I want him to get paid. Get your money. Why not? That's why you play the game, to get paid. But, dude, instead of complaining, get yourself up. Work out. Be with the team. Work with Trey. You worry about your money too much. I understand it. But come on now. Do you want to win or you don't want to win?
You know what, though? It is time for the 49ers to stop horsing around, call in the agent, and do this. Why? What?
But he's the agent. You want, like, to me, I get it, but what do you do? If you want the big bucks, you play your ass off. That's what you do.
I want him to just focus on his job, and the agent, he should just tell Debo to stand down. I got this. I just want you to get ready for the season, Debo. Listen, stay off of social media. You know, I can see me now. I mean, I'm trying to work out a deal here, and you're fanning the flames.
Whose fault is that? Is that Debo's fault or your agent's fault? If I was his agent, dude, I'd tell him, dude, shut up, play your game, give us another excellent year, and I'll make sure you're the number one receiver paid in the NFL. But you want to play those stupid little games about me. No, you
Wasted
know what?
energy.
I don't want to be in the team. I want to get
Wasted
traded.
energy. You know what? And the 49ers, I think they make judgment calls on your character when you do things like this. Now, George wasn't loud, but he said a little bit. Fred didn't say a word, and they got treated right. I worry about this Debo situation. I try not to because I don't like that uncomfortable feeling because I know you've already let it go. You're not worried about Debo, and you know we can win without him. I am not so sure about that.
We can. All it needs, we just need somebody to step up. And if they step up, people was like, well, I guess I messed up. Because like I said, we picked up a few players.
You're looking at revenge. If we win without Debo, then you could say things to Debo like Debo's over to Dallas and the Cowboys ain't doing well. And now we could say, Debo, you could have been playing football in San Francisco if you'd have calmed down.
Yeah. If you'd have kept your damn mouth shut and played the game. And like I said, I'm all for Debo. But, dude, come on. Because the last player that did that was T.O. Well, what did they do with T.O.?
Shipped right out.
They kicked him out. Yeah, we sucked for years, but I'm like, as long as you're going to be a Niners fan, Niners don't go with it. Dude, this is not, you don't do what you want to do. We tell you what you want to do. And that's always been the 49er way.
That's how we roll. Emilio, we got to roll. And I'm going to tell you what, I may be back tomorrow, depending on what I can find. Or I'll definitely be back Friday. So just have a wonderful night. And Debo forever.
Like I said, I like the guy. I got his jersey. I want him to stay.
I'm just messing with you.
Keep your mouth closed and play the game. You'll get paid. You will get paid. Just shut up and play.
All right, talk to you later.
Yeah, good night. Yeah.
See, Emilio have like LeBron James coming in. Remember they told LeBron James just shut up and dribble?
Shut up and dribble? No, that's a little different. No, that's a little different. No.
It is different. All right, fam. I may see you tomorrow on Friday. All right. Night. And the Big Show says all this hype on Trey having a box office grade all season long is pure fantasy. Big Show, thanks for that contribution. You know, it's hold your breath time for some of us, and others are very confident. We have to wait. We got to wait. We'll be okay. We got to win, fam. We got to win. I cannot go back to losing and no more of those 3-point losses, 4-point losses, 2-point losses, because we need to fix something. You know, I want to continue where we left off.
Humble pie on the way there, show.
Hopefully, because we got to win. Hey, Eric.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Eric, I'm reading the Remedial Sports Report. He's cheating salary cap in '87. He's going down through a list of things that are detrimental to the NFL. Anyway, that's interesting from a Rams fan. Eric,
right.
If the day comes that they finally found out and they do dig and find out that the Rams have done something crooked, and I imagine there's a lot of teams that do things that are crooked, but they don't always get exposed. Because the NFL, it's in their best interest to let some of these teams do some of the crooked things they're doing. But if the Rams ever get exposed and used as an example and punished, you and I and everybody in the Niner Empire are just going to be rolling around in the dirt laughing. Because while Rudy's breaking things down as to why he's legit, we know that there's something very strange about what's going on in Los Angeles. Rudy, I just want you to let you know before Eric gets started with whatever he has to say. Go ahead, Eric. We're not idiots.
Well, first thing I want to address, the previous caller, that was Emilio.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Raider McLeod is going to outshine Debo at all.
I know.
I just think,
Emilio, you went too far. I knew you did. Go ahead.
Debo can. It's hard to say. I feel like Raven McDonald. He has the speed, I think, to be not as fast as Debo. I think Debo has a second gear, but I think run the jet sweeps, run the end around, but I don't think that he has the physical attributes that Debo has.
Not even close.
He doesn't have, I would say, that running back gear. That's something.
Eric, your microphone or something's rubbing up against something. Or the wind's blowing into something. It's drowning you out. Eric? Oh, no. We lost Eric. I was enjoying that. Emilio. Listen, I want to go on record right now, and I said a few minutes ago, we cannot just do without Debo and expect us to roll the same way. We need Debo. Debo believes we need him too, but he just doesn't want to put up with this nonsense. It's not nonsense. The man is trying to get his pet money. Eric, are you still there?
Can you hear me now?
No, it sounds like you're way back in the distance now.
Okay.
Eric?
How about now? Is that better?
Oh, yeah, now you're back. Okay. Yeah, it's clear too. No noise. All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, basically, what I'm trying to say is, Debo, he's too physical. I think Raven McDonald's a smaller type of guy. He has the speed, but I think Debo hits a second gear that no one else really does.
Mm-hmm.
Once Debo gets the ball in his hands, it's 0 to 60 in a split second.
Mm-hmm.
I think with Ray, I think it's more 0, 20, 40, then 60, something like that. I think he has a top gear, but he needs some time to get to it. Again, Debo, when he catches the screens, he's going to break multiple tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Ray McDonald, I don't think he's going to be breaking a lot of tackles. He's a smaller type of guy.
McLeod.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say McLeod.
What was I saying? Ray?
You said McDonald. Ray. You were thinking of you were thinking about hamburgers. No. McLeod. No, I agree. Ray McLeod is quick. He's not a big guy. Debo is a mass coming down the field at high speed that's got moves. And ask the Hawks about, he can move and all of a sudden become a ballet dancer. That move, I'll never forget it. When he came down and that Hawk thought he had something, and Debo put a spin out of his reach and clipped on into the end zone. And if I was that Seahawk, I would have picked up my jock and all my clothes that were laying on the ground. I went to the locker room. I wouldn't even said nothing to nobody and went home. Man, that was ugly. Oh, that was vicious. Yeah. Not a lot of guys can do that, but Debo at that size can do that kind of movement. That's a special ball player.
Yeah, and I think Debo's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna replicate it, this year to the extent he did last year, but I do expect Debo to be that box office guy. Obviously,
yeah.
I think obviously Debo, Kittle, guys like that, but I think Kittle. I believe Kittle had 2 years where he was that box office guy. Yep. It was 2018 and 2019, and I believe Debo's gonna repeat this year. He's gonna be the box office guy for the 49ers. I don't know who's going to be next year. Maybe it is Brandon Ayuk, or well, I would say this year underrated pick is Elijah Mitchell. I really believe in that guy. A lot of people are just saying what was the other guy's name that we drafted? Ty Davis Price, is that his name?
Oh,
Tyrion. A lot of people are looking at him.
Davis Price, yeah. He hasn't shown anybody anything yet either. So you're right. No need to make too many judgments on him just yet.
Yeah, and then there's Jeff Wilson. Obviously, he scores a lot of touchdowns. He did in 2020. But I still think that Elijah Mitchell is going to be the guy. Kyle's going to go to someone he trusts. I don't even think Elijah Mitchell fumbled the ball last year at all.
I remember, I think, once. But you're right. He really takes good care of the ball. He really does.
Yeah, and we all know that once you protect the football, you're in Kyle Shanahan's safe house, I guess.
Yep.
If you're not, you're basically Matt Breida and you're on a different squad.
And you and I both know Matt Breida had, he had skills. He had talent. Oh, yeah. Man.
He had incredible speed. He had Mostert-type speed. So, again, I think Elijah Mitchell could be that guy also this year. But
that's all he needs.
Yeah, he does. He has to stay healthy. A lot of the load is going to have to come off of him. Jeff Wilson, Ty Davis Price, guys like that are going to have to step up in order for Elijah Mitchell to, I would say, break off longer runs. He doesn't have the speed of Mostert. It takes him a little longer, but I do think he can break off long runs. And that's what it is in this offense. Typically, the holes are wide the hell open.
Yeah, you see home runs by our running backs if the gap, and like you're saying, those gaps can be. I mean, there's all kind of real estate. If I'm a running back, I'm going, what the hell? And, you forget you got, go. Because, my God, I've never seen this kind of freedom. Oh, my God. Oh, he got dragged out from behind. Why? Because he wasn't focusing on the job at hand. But it's weird. Mostert knew how to read that offense like a book, and that's what it takes to get that kind of run done. But if he stays healthy, Eric, I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, and guys coming back like this year, Mike McGlinchey, he's going to be a really big part in those runs opening up. Mostert was a different breed. I mean, the guy was so fast that when you try to take an angle on him, you ended up behind him.
Yep.
It made no sense. Mostert, the plays in the NFC Championship game were ridiculous, and his speed, it just turned into power. I remember when he bulldozed the corner and when he went into the end zone, he just completely dropped him. And no strength at all. It was just pure speed that hit him. And that corner had zero clue. That corner has been on the Packers forever. If I remember,
speed times distance equals impact. Bam! Bullet. His body's just like a bullet coming at you. I'm telling you, that's the only problem is he ends up getting hurt on those kind of impacts too, though. So.
Yeah, and older. Taking that type of hits, obviously your body's going to start to. Yeah. So, but I mean, he isn't. With the Dolphins now. I don't know how good he's going to be over there, but I would imagine he's going to take the main spot pretty fast, just because he has the familiarity with Mike McDaniels already. So I think it just makes too much sense. I remember watching one of your other shows and listening to the Bears fan. Obviously, oh my goodness, I don't know why that Bears fan keeps calling in, man. Bears have nothing on the Niners, dude. They have nothing. There's nothing on the Bears that is better than the 49ers. And your excuse was Trey Lance having no no experience. Bro, the Niners have never been a QB-dependent team. They've gotten to where they've gotten with Jimmy G, who is average to above average quarterback. They've gotten to the 2 NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl. Yep. They do not need Lance to be a god at quarterback week 1. They just need average to above average, and they'll whoop your asses like they always do.
And the thing is,
just what they need.
That's where that offense is designed. It's designed to kill you with 11 guys, not just one. So we're gonna be fine.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm telling you, Ron, we're gonna blow out that team. I guarantee. I'm
Chicago.
Saying it right now, we're winning by at least 25. I'm telling you, I've been sleeping on the Bears this entire time. I don't know why he thinks Justin Fields is gonna do anything. The only thing I worry about Justin Fields is his speed. The man runs around like a squirrel, like Kyler Murray. That's like the one thing I'm scared about. But other than that,
he's not as quick as Kyler. He's fast, but he's not as quick as Kyler. Kyler scares me worse. Between the two of them, Kyler, his ability to, oh my God, he could, from standing position, you talk about from 0 to 60? Kyler hits 60 from his first step. My God, he's quick. Oh, but he's that size. Yeah. Of course he's quick. But Jesus Christ. That's why I used to love it. DeForest Buckner talked about it. He was out here like running around trying to catch a squirrel. Can you imagine trying to catch a squirrel? Eric, I mean, that is impossible.
Well, Javon Kinlaw could do it.
I know, with his teeth. There's a guy, hey, Eric, there's a guy that you might reflect on. We got a minute or so to go. What do you expect from him?
Honestly, I have no expectations for him. I just want him to stay healthy. That's pretty much it. Just show what you can do, Kinlaw. I don't know if he's watching. I would assume. You never know. But Kinlaw, just do you, bro. It seems like you have a lot of anger inside of you. Use that shit. Run around. Do you play football? At the end of the day, that's all I got to say about that, Ronbo. That guy has an enormous amount of potential and talent. He just needs to get the right mindset and go out there, stay healthy, and that's pretty much it. At the end of the day, it's going to fix itself. And if he's, I would assume he'd be the best run stopper on the football field at that time.
Indeed.
Once he enters.
Indeed. I really, you're right. If nothing else, if you go to run and Kinlaw's anywhere in the vicinity, you're not going anywhere. Because you don't have an offensive lineman that's going to actually be able to contain him. So, unless you double team him. And if you do that, my linebackers love that. Because now you've opened up a whole area for them to work in. So,
Yeah, and if he is double teamed a lot, then you're just leaving Nick Bosa one-on-one. You don't want to do that.
You don't want Eric Armstead around there in the middle.
Don't do it.
You just don't want all those other guys. Because this team is going to work like a giant amoeba. I can't wait to see that defense working. Chris Kasuik's got these guys for the length of time he's had them. Most of them, the heart of that team is all Chris Kasuik trained for at least 1 year already. So, I'm looking forward to this. And you got Kerry Hyder Jr., already a Kasuik student. Man, that defense is going to be, oh, my goodness. Whew.
Yeah, and my sleeper pick is along the defensive line. I think he's going to have a good season. Is Jordan Willis. Is that his name?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, Jordan Willis. Is that his name?
Yeah.
I have a feeling he's gonna have a really big year. He's been on and off the field. I believe he got suspended. I think he's gonna be the guy this year that's gonna. I think he's gonna get more snaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll be good. You got him. I got Charles Omenihu. We got so many guys to choose from. Who are gonna just go nuts. So we'll see. Eric, I may be back tomorrow for sure. I'll see you Friday. All right.
All right, Ronbo.
All right,
I'll catch you later.
Always a pleasure. Night. And let's go. It's Tony. Tony.
Ronbo.
Tony. Well, Tony, we're enjoying here saying things like we don't need Debo, and we're pretty much going to score 27 points a game this year. And what else are some of the things that stand out tonight that I enjoyed? I've already stuck my neck out. I'm saying that this team does not do without Debo, and that Ray McLeod Emilio is not a better player than Debo. But
Look, you said-
Tony, your feeling on these matters.
You said there's a couple. Well, the hot rod. It's good to hear the hot rod came in. Well, I haven't heard him for a while.
Oh yeah. He's we haven't heard from him in a long
He
time.
came in here and put things in a perspective for you and just settled everything, calmed everything down. It's a little bit skeptical. Like the skeptical people are the ones that I don't know. I suppose like yourself, myself, the Rod, who analyse every single part of the game, not just the winning side, the winning part. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And there's a lot to prove. One statement was the 49ers will kill you with 11 players. It only that's true. You have to play as a team.
Yep.
But it only takes one person to lose the whole game.
We've seen that happen a couple of times, haven't we? It's a sad truth. At a given moment. But, I told you what I've always said about that kind of thing, though? Because leading up to that particular moment, when that individual made that mistake, the road had already been throwing a lot of garbage in the street and everything. Cars are dodging it and running off the road. I mean, we do things sometimes that build up. I still haven't given Jimmy Ward a pass yet on that game
Ronbo,
against the Rams.
I'm not talking about Kwasky T either.
I was thinking about him, but I mean, the thing, it happens.
No.
But but go ahead.
There's other fundamentals of the game that can lose you the game. For example, we were at one stage in the press, and the headline was the 49ers lead the league in missed tackles.
See?
Just one missed tackle can cost you the game.
Damn right it does.
All right? Okay, so we've been we've been pretty shitty in that area in a number of positions, and the secondary was one of them where we had a lot of missed tackles. Now, hopefully, that's the most dangerous part on the field. When the other team's attacking, secondary makes a missed tackle. There's no one behind you.
Sure,
it's TD time.
Yeah. Rowan pointed that out earlier when Pete Carroll tried to take advantage of us, because apparently, like you're saying, we were known for wimpy tackling, and Carroll tried to take advantage of us, but that day we muscled up. Tony, it's a mental thing, and I imagine it's the same way in the rugby leagues. You either feel like taking a lot of pain and issuing pain, or you don't. And playing defense, that's an attitude.
If you know that certain people, we've lost to Kansas City in week 4, when was it, 2018 or whatever I think it was. That game we missed 17 tackles in the game. Right? We lost also to the Cardinals because of missed tackles. We've lost a lot of games because of missed tackles. Now, as an attacking team, right, as the 49ers attacking team, you got Debo, you got your physical guys on the side. And if you study the opposition team, and Shanahan can set up a play, and this guy in their secondary can't tackle for shit. Will you tell Debo, listen, run straight at him. Run straight at him, because he's not going to tackle you, you're going to steamroll him, and we've got a guaranteed TD.
I think that's happened a few times. Debo went right after some guy.
You've got to set it up. If you can't, you're playing, obviously in rugby league, there's 13 players on the field, and they run in a line, like on a battlefield, right? So whoever's got the ball, you're lined up with the opposition, and they know you can't tackle. Guess what? That big dude, all right, is running straight at you.
Yep. and them are some big dudes, man. Some of those guys I see playing in rugby leagues, I wouldn't get in the way. I might act like I was trying to take him down, but seriously, I'm not.
What's his name? Javon Kinlaw. I mean, give the boy some love, man. Especially that little pipsqueak, whatever the frig his name was. I keep forgetting his name. I can't stand him.
Yeah.
Grant Carlin, yeah. Everybody seems to forget who picked off Jared Goff and ran it in for a pick 6, man.
I tell you, that was a memorable moment, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was Javon, yeah. Well, give the boy some love, for Christ's sake.
Oh, I'm right behind him. Totally behind him. He's got to do. He's just such a big man. I mean, Javon would actually look good in the rugby leagues, and you guys got a lot of big dudes.
So you miss a tackle on Debo or Tyreek Hill. See you later, my boy. And there's only one thing I want to see from Trey Lance, and that's how he's going to manage the last 5 minutes of the clock.
Yeah.
Well, that's 2-minute warning.
Yeah, that's where the experience is going to come in. Yeah.
Jimmy, in that part of his game, I know there's a lot of people that hate Jimmy, and I don't really give a shit. But
you and me
Jimmy,
both.
in that part of his game, was confident. He would hold it, and he's confident. When the time was right, he'd stick a touchdown, so that you can't come back in the last 30 or whatever odd seconds or minute, whatever. He was confident. That part of his game, he had a lot of confidence in.
He made a mistake here and there, but there's still no. He was not going to hesitate. Jimmy Garoppolo, if he saw an opening and he thought he had an opening, he's going to fire. Wasn't going to be any hesitation.
But if Trey can master that part of the game as well, I mean, like I said, I wish this kid, in previous shows, I wish this kid would be the next best thing since sliced bread, and God knows I want to see him beat the shit out of the Kansas City Chiefs, so they can stop talking about the frog, Kermit the Frog, that is the best thing since sliced bread. I want to hear these guys. Oh, there's a new kid in town. There's a new bloke.
I look for Trey. If everything goes right, I think he'll be a lot like Josh Allen. Because they got similar.
I don't care what he's like,
they got
Ronbo.
similar
I just
style.
want to win.
Well, yeah, me and you both. But I mean, he's got that kind of velocity on his passes. He can move. He's a big guy, so he's running down the field. He's a load. So if he turns into Josh Allen, I will look back upon these days and say, I don't know if this was a good job. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. 49ers are winning. Everybody can't win a Super Bowl every year. That was my whole thinking about this whole thing, If we're getting there, we're winning games, and we're getting all the way to the end of the playoffs, for the love of God, what else do we need? Okay, what do we... Can I keep Jimmy, get me to the playoffs, and then make him sit down and bring in this savior that we're talking about? I'm thinking, because I don't want to go back to, the 49ers in a year where Trey Lance was coming in to take over the team, fell slightly short. I don't want to hear that. I do not want to hear that, Tony.
You know what the problem with 49er fan base is, Ronbo? We complain when we're not winning. And then we complain when we're winning as well. We find faults in everything. There's nothing that escapes 49er fans. There's always something to pick at.
This is Montana and Young's fault. As you know, we if we go to the Super Bowl, we're supposed to win, and we've lost 2 since they.
We need a Trey Lance. He's a cross between a Colin Kaepernick and sprinkled in with some Joe Montana. That's what we need. And, I'm rooting for the kid. And, I hope Shanahan and Lynch have made the right decision.
Well, they will have
because we ain't got 4 more years of waiting around to do, because this team won't be the same team in another 4 years.
Don't even mention it. So we got to go, though. I may be back tomorrow for sure Friday. All right?
All right, brother.
Always great to
shout
talk
out
to
to everybody, and see you in the next chapter.
Looking forward. Have a great night, Tony.
Right.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
And Victor A says, I'm really looking forward to having a 3-headed monster of a backfield running back. I'm just waiting to give them the nickname Earth, Wind, and Fire. I like that, Victor. Because right now they're thunder and lightning. So you got Thor. Who controls lightning? That's not Loki, is it? Loki doesn't control thunder. Who would be thunder? That would be the Hulk. What would be up? And I suspect that it's Ellis. Ellis, get in here. Oh, wait. Victor says also Earth TDP, wind is Mitchell, fire Trey Sermon. See, okay, Ellis, did he mention Trey Sermon? And you know what the subject matter is tonight. We're looking for that box office figure this year, and who else is going to be the box office figures? Wouldn't it be funny if Trey Sermon bucked up and said, y'all didn't have no kind of respect for Mr. Sermon's baby boy? I'm here to tell you right now. Mama didn't raise no chump, no fool, no wimpy. I'm coming out here kicking ass and taking numbers. Wouldn't it be great?
Absolutely.
Because Elijah went out there, game changer, until he got hurt. Week by week, they took it out of him. But he was just a young rookie coming in. He's gotten stronger this year. So I'm looking forward to him doing great things. But who else is going to help him?
Man, that boy George Mason.
Oh, yeah, that's
hearing more and more.
You mentioned him last time a few weeks ago. Huh.
We're hearing more and more about him. I think this will be it's a really good year for us to be, deep with some quality running backs. I mean, we haven't seen the rooks get on the field yet and seeing their durability week in and week out yet. We know what we'll get out of Jeff Wilson. We know what we'll get out of Elijah. We don't know what we're going to get out of Trey yet, but he's looking good. I just think he's inexperienced in hitting the holes and finding openings, learning that patience and those different things. That's a running back specialty. You have to learn how to hit the holes, know when it's time, wait for things to kind of clear a little bit. You might have to hit a different hole. You might need to
Ellis,
go from the right side all the way back to the left damn side. It's a vision thing.
But Ellis,
and so
you've been around running backs long enough. Running backs usually it's kind of a natural thing with them. They hit the ground running when they get to the pros. Most running backs that are going to be good from day one. They look good because you learn all that stuff through high school and college. If you haven't, this isn't what you should be doing. That's the thing that worries me about him.
I agree. You come all this way, and when you get to the
somebody told me
top of the sport.
But do you ever watch Ohio State football? Somebody told me the kind of offense that coach is running. I don't know how the way the dude explained it is the running back. It's not. I need to watch Ohio State football to understand what he was talking about. I still don't get it. He explained it. I still don't understand. When was the last time a great running back came out of Ohio State, though? Anybody in the chat, if you can handle that question, if you watch football, I really don't know.
What's his name? Damn. The one from Ohio, I think he was from Ohio. He was a bad MFer, but he got into some legal trouble. What was his name?
Man.
Damn.
How long ago?
You know what I'm talking about, too. That boy was hard. At least 10 more years, probably 10 more years ago. Damn near.
Ohio State.
Yeah, 10 more years ago for sure.
Badass. Oh, wait.
He's coming out around the same time LeBron
forgot
was
Salvador. I just realized. Zeke is from Ohio State.
Yeah.
I forgot Zeke's from Ohio State. Okay, so I withdraw that statement. Will the jury please dismiss that last statement I made? Ezekiel Elliott, it's right. There's been a couple more. I just realized there have been a couple, though. There was one after Zeke, too.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, Ronbo. He's not familiar, I think, with running the offense. I mean, he played in the same offense as Justin Fields, and Justin Fields was not accustomed to the Shanahan style offense. He played, pretty much he played a totally different offense.
Would you try to stop the kids from doing something just then? My mom used to do that. The finger pop?
Yeah. Yeah,
I recognize
do
that.
Do that loud ass snap. You know what I'm saying? With some authority.
Yeah.
Damn near breaking my fingers with the snap. Yeah, that one.
You brought back memories.
But,
Go ahead.
but yeah, no, you know, I just think offensively he wasn't accustomed to running the kind of plays, you know, that we were. I think they had a more linemen too. If I remember, there's a lot of single back formations and stuff like that, and you know the line I think would just be bulldozed, and you know the collegiate level is different. You know what I mean? And they come harder, faster, stronger in the NFL, and I just think he wasn't adjusted to that. He wasn't prepared for the offensive adjustments and things like that. So I think I think he's going to do a lot better. But his vision was the thing. He's got the strength. He's got even the get off. You know what I mean? You see when he came out before he knocked himself out cold in the Seattle game, when he busted through that hole, everybody was like, oh shit, until he fell down. But that was just, that was a burst from sitting on the bench, and he was frustrated, and he was going out there, he's balls to the wall with it. We need him to be like that, but we need him to be smart. He needs to be, calculated. He needs to be patient, so that he can be able to, find his way. Like Elijah Mitchell's really good at vision. He's good at having that patience already. He's already has a maturity about him as a running back. And so once Trey can kind of get more along those lines like Elijah and just continue to get better in his physical form, I think he's going to do good. I don't think he's a bust. I honestly don't think that Trey Sermon is a bust. We just haven't seen him yet. I think at this point Banks is more of a bust than Trey Sermon.
Who?
Because we haven't really Aaron Banks. Even though we haven't seen come from him. Yeah.
No. Oh my goodness.
I'm only saying that because we've seen more, though very little. We've seen more of Trey Sermon than we've seen of Aaron Banks. Doesn't mean Aaron Banks is going to be a bust. So that's why I'm just, but I think Aaron's going to come out and do some things. Yeah, we don't need him being a bust, because that was I'm telling you, Mike McGlinchey, was advocating for him. I bet you. You know what I mean? What are the chances of them both being teammates at one point and getting drafted back to back, pretty much, or 2 years after the other? You know what I mean? So there was some vouching going on there.
The thing is, though, if we were sitting in the office and we was making decisions on picking up offensive linemen, first thing we would talk about is Notre Dame. That's an offensive lineman factory. They've had so many guys come out that can play that position. You probably got to go that route first. But I do hope that that example you just made does not come into fruition. Ellis, don't do that, man. Ellis, man, you put the mojo on us, man.
Hey, yo, but there was much better offensive linemen available though than Aaron Banks. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
But
no, really, I know.
That's neither here nor there. And he's got to show it. He's got to show it like everybody else does. You know what I mean? Everybody else who hasn't shown their potential yet, he needs to. I mean, Elijah Mitchell's already shown his potential. There's, now he just needs to get better. You know what I mean? But he had a hell of a year. He had a stout rookie season. Not a lot of no six rounder in the draft did what he did last year, and so that speaks, volumes. He did better than early round picks. So.
He just got to stay healthy this year, stay up on his feet, and if they can keep him healthy, I expect big things from him. If he can almost gain 1,000 yards in the amount of games that he did last year, what is he going to do with at least 16 games, at least 15?
Yeah.
Well,
we'll be good.
We got to go, so because I don't want you to have to finger pop. Who was that? Was that Jamani? I bet it was.
That was Zamari. Zamari, the youngest, my youngest one. Yeah, Z was in here, trying to tell off of Maya, how these kids get.
No, they got to let them know how they feel.
But yeah, peace and love, man. Thank you for the platform as always.
It's my pleasure.
Shout out to the Niner faithful, man. Y'all hit that like, subscribe. Rudy's in there in the chat.
I know he's trying to educate people, and the boy can't hold no classes because he ain't got no degrees. Rudy, man, man. But that thing about the money's being spent and how they were allocated and how it's all legal. Rudy, stop. All right. Anyway, Ellis, I'll see you.
Y'all just ain't got caught yet, Rudy. So when that comes out, then you can dig a deeper hole to make a studio, 400 feet under the ground instead of 200. Anyway,
All right,
shout out
man.
to you, family.
Have a great night. Shout out to the squad,
Peace
too.
and love.
Yeah.
Thank you, fam. Yes, sir. Peace.
And we go to Bethel now that has some choice things he wants to say to Rudy, who says after 6 years, he's still no Niners Super Bowl wins. Meanwhile, my LA Rams are champs. You know, Bethel, this is the thing, you know, we have to endure, you know, from people. The Kansas City Chiefs haven't been here for a while, which is refreshing. My homeboy, because he got on my last nerve. He even took me for use for his avatar to antagonize me even more. The Hawks, who once owned us, you know, the Raiders still made an appearance. No, they didn't make an appearance here tonight, but, you know, this is being what it is, being the 49ers. We have to endure this because of the fact that we are who we are. All of them wish they could be us. They wish they could talk about their past history and legacy. They don't have one. So, here we are.
Yeah, and they all wish they had somebody like Ronbo. So that's another thing.
Well, I mean, you know, thanks, Bethel. But you know, it's fun, and you know, the tide is going to turn, the table's going to turn, and then again they will scatter like bugs, like, you know, and we'll be having to find them. Hey, listen, by the way, you Rams fans, leave a contact address for us, okay? So we can come and visit sometimes. Since we're all friends. hey, Bethel, looking at some of the players that are going to be in the box office, that face is going to flash across the billboard before the game as you walk into the stadium. Who do you got in mind? There's a few people that are going to be box office this year. Not just one, because you have breakout players, but you got veterans, too. Yeah. They got to come back and reestablish themselves. You got anybody you're thinking about?
I think that guy that we picked up, I don't know if you've seen the video of him picking up 445 pounds.
When you say what do you mean picking up? Deadlift, squat, bench? What are we talking about?
He picked up with his legs.
He did a squat.
Yeah, he picked up 445 pounds.
You know,
I couldn't believe when I seen the video.
You know the guy we lost to the New Orleans Saints, right? The guy that played the middle. What was his name? You know, he did a 700-pound squat. Remember that?
Yeah, but he
screwed
hurt
his knees up
because he did too much. Yeah.
Oh God, what was his name? Contavious Street. If anybody could bench press 450, though, I got mad respect for him, though. That's not a gentle lift. Street's a freak.
Yeah.
But 450-pound squat, yeah, he can play for us.
Yeah. And you know, and something I didn't have a chance to speak on, and I end up knowing some stuff about is that you cannot fault Debo for not signing anything because I remember in the when they did the draft.
Jason Poe. Bethel, you were talking about. Bethel, I just want to interrupt you for a second. You were talking about Jason Poe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I don't want him cut. He's going to have trouble making this team. But I want him for other reasons. I mean, he could be used offensively as well. But go ahead.
Yeah. And there was I think it was Prince Chapman. He's a YouTuber and I think it was Niners, Brain Wizzy.
Wayne.
They got Brain Wizzy. They got I think it was they got a running back, and they got our lineman, our number one lineman, pro lineman, to be there, and I think he couldn't a running back because he was a rookie. He couldn't sign anything because his agent didn't let him.
Oh.
His agent did not let him sign anything, and he couldn't sign anything. But
the
Fred
Debo
Warner
incident as well.
Yeah,
is that
and
the same
Fred
place?
Warner did because he already got his money and everything, and he could do whatever he wants. But the rookie couldn't do that. So that's the reason why I think Debo couldn't sign anything. And so, you cannot, if the agent doesn't let him, you cannot, fault Debo for that.
No,
Because,
and he had to explain.
The agent wants money.
Yeah.
If he can't have his money, then, he's not going to have somebody sign
No,
it.
and the writers, you know how they do. They can't wait to get a story going. And it doesn't matter if it's true or is there any basis for it. They say, oh, Debo's out here abusing children. Or what? Oh, guys, what is that?
No, and then plus, if he signs the signature, then more people are gonna, pile up and, imagine 500 kids on top of you trying to get autographs.
Yeah, you can't.
It's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people can't sign
those signing
stuff
sessions
sometimes.
are usually set up in advance. You can't have a football player out there in a crowd, or they will mob him.
Yeah, and I remember there would be like the Dallas Cowboys, try to charge you a lot of money. If you want a signature, from the Dallas Cowboys, they'll charge you $100 and something for one signature. So
I tell you, Bethel, I'd walk away. Say what?
Yeah.
I got to pay how much? Man, when's the last time y'all won a championship? In fact, you ought to be doing this for free. I ain't paying a damn dime. Hey, any of y'all out here pay these people any money, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I go off. I'd love to be I'd love to go in there and do that, pretend I'm a Cowboys fan and do that. I'd have such a great time. Oh. Woo, man. But that's the thing. So I read that story. Debo got attacked. You know what I feel sorry, Bethel, for Debo? Debo's having to defend himself a few times, and granted, some of it he probably could have staved it off by just staying low key. But the thing is, there's been a few things he's been accused of and said that he didn't say, and he had to come back and correct people. I really wish that this is the most stressful season for him. This is why I'm hoping that they go ahead and get this done. And Debo has one of the biggest years of his football career. It
depends how they're thinking, how their mindset is, because not a lot of teams, don't like to, get pushed around, and it's not the players' way. It's basically the football team way. If you don't like it, then we have a lot of options we could do, and if you don't want to play, then that's up to you.
Yep.
And if you want to ball out, then you get your money. But
and you won't have to ask. A lot of times, players get called into the office before they ask. So you're right, and we've seen some famous players. Bethel, T.O., same thing. Even what's his name? Played with Harbaugh, the wide receiver that thought too much of himself. Oh my God! Now I'm lost in his name too. What's the guy that played with Kaepernick? Wide receiver, ended up with the Raiders.
I
know, right?
I think he was.
We've all gotten over him.
I know. They should. I think Kaepernick should just threw it to open right.
Crabtree. Thank you, Tony. Michael Crabtree.
Yeah, Crabtree.
Jesus.
If he would not threw it to him and he would threw it to the open guy, we would have won that damn Super Bowl.
I blame Frank. Harbaugh, who could have negated. That was a screw up on several different levels.
Yeah.
And you could have gave it to Frank Gore. That close to the goal line, coach, come on.
And I always say, you could throw it dink and dunk. As long as you're getting yards, it doesn't matter if, you're still getting what you're going to get, and you're
whatever strategy works.
Still, going to get some points. Yeah. So,
but Bethel, if I got Frank Gore, and I know we shouldn't be going over this again, but if I got Frank Gore and I'm inside the 5, I don't need to think about this. Yeah, Bethel, do you remember those games when Frank Gore would be standing next to Harbaugh looking up at him, and Harbaugh would look back at him? Because he knew Frank Gore should not be standing next to you, Coach. That's why he's looking at you.
He's all like, hey, are you going to put me in? Come on. You know I'm your best running back. Yeah, it's, but, that's why it's going to depend on Kyle, who's is going to break out and who's going to have a breakout year. Because imagine people are not going to be able to spy our quarterback for one reason only. Because if you have Gray that's going to take the top, and you're afraid of him taking the top, plus you have our wide receivers, our George Kittle, you have a running back, and then you have a quarterback that
all of them can catch.
Pass.
Especially,
and
if I got Jeffrey Wilson Jr. out there, I'm feeling more confident than anything. A guy coming out of the backfield can still catch it. The rest of those guys, that's what they do. But my running back also's got hands. There's the outlet. Hit him if nothing else is available.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So you cannot do what you want to do. You cannot stack people in the pocket. You cannot do what you want to do unless you want to get hurt and you want to get burned. And you do not want to make your defense look bad. Because then that defense coordinator is going to get fired. Yeah.
and we're not hiring him in San Francisco. Bethel, we got to go, though. We're running out of time. I may be back tomorrow or for sure be back Friday.
All right, Ronbo, like always, great show.
Thanks, fam.
Punch the like, and let's go Nines.
That's right. Got to do that. Got to go. All right, fam. Night, Bethel. Oh, God, if we could pick that Lombardi next year, it'll be so fun because Rams fans won't be here for the celebration. Unfortunately, we'll have to send them letters. Guys, at least leave email addresses so we can actually send you photos of the parade in a real parade, not hired Hollywood extras. We're going to have real people out there, real celebrations, and, it'll be a game that was really won, too. It wasn't, quarterback went down like the Bengals quarterback did. Hey, Tony. It's funny you came in while I'm working the Rams.
Oh, how you doing?
Doing great. It's preseason. No pressure yet. No stress from losing or winning. Well, there's never any stress from winning a game, but if you lose a game, it takes a whole week. That's the thing about football, Tony. If you lose that game Sunday or Monday, you got to wait 6 or 7 days before you can get that nasty taste out of your mouth or that pain in the stomach. So, we ain't got to go through that right now. We should appreciate these days.
Our rosters together.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's it. Can you hear me?
Say it again. I missed that. I heard something, though. What'd you say?
I said we're just pretty much your team, all of our squads, just trying to get our rosters together.
Yeah.
Who's going to make the squad, who's not, who's going to be on the practice squad. It's an exciting time of the year. I can smell the grass.
Where's the impact coming and stuff like that? Because,
Yes, sir.
And little things, I don't know if you guys do this with your players, but little things that are scary is like Ellis tonight says, I don't look at Trey Lance any more of a bus than I do Aaron Banks. Oh! Because we haven't seen Aaron Banks play. Tony, do you guys have any guys that have been put on the shelf for a year and you plan on looking for them, redshirt or whatever? Are they coming out to play this year?
No, not on the shelf for a year, but I know we drafted Chris Lindstrom in 2019 in our first round, our right guard. We should have made the Pro Bowl, by the way. We didn't. And then we traded back. We traded back into the first round and took Caleb McGarry, the right tackle. They're talking about him losing his job to. Do you remember Infetti?
I do remember the name. I'm trying to remember where I remember that from.
Jermaine Infetti. He played right
for the Hawks.
Yeah, we have him now. We signed him as a free agent.
What does he look like out there?
I haven't seen him yet. I haven't heard anything, but I told him in my
he's huge, though.
Infetti. Yep, first round pick, number 74.
Oh, I remember
Former
that.
first round pick. I told him, I said, you guys want McGarry to get benched? I said, and Fetty's coming in. He ain't coming in there to be no role player. He's coming in there to start. But it'll be good depth. Even if he don't start, that's good depth.
Well, the thing is, he's had lots of years to train. When he came in as a rookie, I think the Hawks were, I don't know who coaches. The Hawks have a tendency to make some either really great picks or really bad picks. I'm not sure where to put it, Fetty. I know that being in NFC West as long as he was, I don't remember anything spectacular him doing.
Well, for an offensive lineman, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. I think he's a good run blocker, though, as I remember.
But, I can't believe the publication I was reading. And like I said, I think the Hawks, that their first round pick at pick number 9, Charles Cross, Mississippi State left tackle.
I know you're high on him. What?
Y'all gonna have to deal with him.
Yeah, I know you thought good about him. See, that's what the Hawks do. They either get a hell of a player or somebody that everybody's not looking at. And we've seen the Legion at its heyday.
And then, in the publication, it's got them listed, and we don't know until they compete. They got the Hawks starting at right tackle, that Abraham Lucas, the third-round pick. I'm like, y'all going to start 2 rookies at your bookends? I'm like, that's not smart.
They might not have a choice. They might not have a choice. I mean, what kind of depth do they have over there in the first place? That's why they drafted those kids.
Yeah. They got the Rams' former lineman Austin Blythe as their center.
Who?
Austin Blythe.
I remember his name because I could see the name of his jersey. I could see his name spelled on that jersey. I don't remember much about him, though. Was he any good?
He was all right. He got the job done. Nothing spectacular. But
yeah,
I saw this a minute 8-second workout video. If you get a chance to go on YouTube, it's under Julio Offseason 2022, and it shows Julio working out for a minute and 8 seconds. I wonder where that dude's gonna end up, man. Because he's still my favorite player.
Somebody, whoever's a title contender will call him, especially if all they need is a wide receiver. And Julio probably doesn't really care about the money. He doesn't need to get a payday. He's already had that. He'll probably play for whatever they want to pay, and then he'll make a difference, a lot like OBJ did with the Rams this past season. OBJ came in out of nowhere. That night he came in, we abused him, and he got better and better as they got used to the offense. And actually, I hate to admit it, but he made a difference as far as the Rams' playoff chances.
He did. He really did. But I don't think Julio's going to get no more than $10 million. Like what A.J. Green got, like what Bobby Wagner's get. I don't think a team's going to pay him a cent more.
Worried about injuries. Unless you give him an incentive contract. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I could see Baltimore. I could see the L.A. Chargers using him as a third receiver.
Baltimore.
I could see, Baltimore, they got a bunch of tight ends.
Wow. You know what? You might be on to something there. Because the Ravens, can Lamar get the ball to him, though?
Lamar, I love Lamar. And, people that don't, they criticize you for saying this. Ronbo, and especially in college, I don't like quarterbacks trying to do too much themselves. And Lamar Jackson does that. And don't get the ball to your playmakers.
Yeah,
run occasionally. You don't have to do it all yourself.
That's why he was in the position he was last year, laying out. How many games did he miss last year? You can't do that. I blame the coaching staff, Harbaugh. You guys, you're going to get him killed, and now you're going to be out of a potential franchise player. That's just stupid.
He's up for a contract too, so.
Yeah, I'm with Stephen A. Smith on this. So Lamar needs to stop acting like he knows what he's doing as far as getting a contract done and have somebody do that for him and go in there and get it done. The season's about to start, and Lamar has not met with anybody in the front office to discuss his deal. Now, what is that?
You know who his agent is, don't you?
I thought he didn't have, but I thought he was talking on his own behalf.
His mother was his agent.
That's what I do it. You know, your mama, this is not her, this is not what she's supposed to be doing. She can help you with your finances and things like that because she's going to think better than you do. But when it comes to nailing down a deal, you need a hardcore, he ain't taking no stuff agent. You need Jerry Maguire, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's talked to some of the other players about their agents, but I don't know.
Now, Richard Sherman's another story, though. Richard Sherman knows what he's doing. You know, Sherm, the Stanford man that he is, people may not give enough credit for his academic. Richard Sherman is a cerebral dude. I think that's one of the things that helped him be a good football player, too. Sherm can wheel and deal all over the NFL. He doesn't need an agent. Some guys can do that.
Sir. Yep. But Rudy, these guys need to. I told Rudy about Cooper Kupp. I said, Cooper Kupp, he's a good receiver that sometimes plays great, but he's not a great receiver. Mm-hmm. I want to see 8, 9, 10 years of consistency before I can say he's great.
Mm-hmm. And you're right. That's what it takes.
Not this 1 deal or 2 year deal, You got to do it for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. You can't put him up there with the Terrell Owenses and Randy Mosses because I know he had one of the best receiving years ever. Mm-hmm. But let's see him get 1,200-1,300 yards.
Yeah, do it again. Do it again, because we can say the same thing about Raheem Mostert as being one of the greatest running backs of all time, but he only did that once. So, let's see if Cooper Kupp can do that again a couple more years.
You know how hard it is to get 1,900-plus yards? He's not going to do that again. That's light.
I know, right? After he got rid of Robert Woods, it all became Cooper's team. This is... And then OBJ hadn't came along yet. Who else did the Rams have as a receiver? It was all about Cooper Kupp, and Stafford just milked him that was his dude. It was like over the GOAT and Edelman. You got Tom Brady and Edelman all over again.
They got that Jefferson kid who I like a lot. Van Jefferson, they need to get him the ball more. Sean Jefferson's son. They need to get him the ball more. I like that kid.
Every quarterback does that. If you got a milk and butter dude or you just use that guy. And I don't know this is what's going to be funny, Tony. Aaron Rodgers without Devontae. I can't wait to see what this looks like.
Wait, Ronbo, you and I both calling it. Okay, Rams, go ahead and not run the ball and throw the ball 40, 50 times. Stafford going to throw a lot of picks.
Not only that,
a lot of.
If I only have to worry about him going airborne, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I got this. He ain't getting away with that. You don't have any balance in your game, you're gonna be in trouble.
I'm coming after him too.
Yeah, pin your ears back. Yep. He ain't gonna run it. Kill that quarterback. Tony, I tell you what, I'm gonna be looking for you tomorrow or Friday. As I love to do, I look forward to hearing from you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Just look at some of the young kids, man.
There you go.
Yeah, have a good one, Ronbo. I'll talk to you later in the week.
Looking forward to it. All right, Tony.
Yes, sir.
And Claire, like can't spell SoFi without SF. Thing is about SoFi, who had the most fans at SoFi Stadium? All right, there are shameless people. There are shameless people that come into this chat. If I were a Ram fan, I would never say anything about SoFi Stadium and ask the question about whose house it is. Jay Realistic put it in perfect perspective. Whose house? Levi's South. I like the way that rhymes. I mean, Bill, it's just Rams fans saying things about SoFi. That thing about whose house is it? Every 49er fan in there drowned them out. I mean, it was embarrassing. embarrassing. I mean, a complete embarrassment. God. Bill, come on in. How you doing?
It's our house, Ronbo.
Yeah, it is.
Hear me?
Yeah. That's it. We made that clear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
It's our house. That's whose house it is.
Mm-hmm. We own several.
Let's get to the one thing. We got Rudy with his pictures of in a 49er outfit at the age of 10. We got
good.
Got the marketing 49er of all time, and we got Ramelia, the 49er expert sports of being a 49er fan, just wants to talk trash because he's upset because he don't want anybody to know that he's a fan.
Yeah.
Accepting the paycheck.
Yeah.
From Roger Goodell. Come out and say it. You took the paycheck. We all know you're a 49er fan, so come on in. Boom.
I mean, every man's got his price. You know? Yeah. You got to, those folks sitting out there, that parade that they actually computer generated that crowd. They think we don't know, but we know. All those brand new blue and gold jerseys with the horns on them. Yeah.
What they did was give away the stuff because nobody wanted to buy it. They gave all that stuff away for free. I cut them a paycheck.
You know what to do, Bill? I got to Google it later. I want to know the popularity level of the Los Angeles Rams football team amongst Los Angelians. I want to know, where do they rank on the with the Lakers, the Dodgers? I bet you about the You know what? You can even go to the Chargers, the Clippers. I want to know, where are the Rams in that hierarchy, and where's the love? Hey, just move back in, Bill. You can't just move back into town and pick up where you left off how many years ago?
No, absolutely not. And on top of that, I have an aunt that lives in California, and I even heard from one of my other uncles that talked to my aunt. They were actually offering a good chunk of money for people to attend the parade and wear the jersey. Actually, my aunt's got a Rams jersey given to her for free.
I believe it too.
And
I really do.
She got her about $10,000. They were.
There's guys running around looking for WWE paraphernalia that have to pay those prices to buy stuff from people who got confiscated, whatever star stuff, same price. So the Rams, they got a lot of money. They got to pay for fans to come out and lie.
Of course.
It's Steven Spielberg and they might be all involved in it.
To be a fan?
Yeah.
That's what they do. They want to pay people to be a fan. But they jersey to be to burn it in my backyard.
Bill, that's why I can't wait till the season starts, so we can go ahead and hand the Rams that first loss. Now, I already know what they're going to say. Oh, you guys got lucky. It's no big deal. We're still like neck and neck. You guys are a game ahead. Hey, what week do we play the Rams? We play them in week 3 or 4 or something like that? Or we play them toward the middle of the season?
I'm not worried.
But I can't wait to say, okay, Rams, you know what? This is what we told you back in July. The next time you guys come running up in here talking, just know this. You're not that good, Rams. You just got away with something last year. Every dog has his day. You had it. It's over. Get over it. Let it go.
They got lucky. It was pure. It was pure. Would not have been dropped. We would have been talking a different story. I'm not even. Yeah, I'm not even worried. You know what? Let them have their one and done ring in Los Angeles. They're gonna be like the Seattle Sea Chickens, one and done. Like the Kansas City Chiefs, one and done. I actually do see us hopefully winning it all this year. Be happy. Let these guys get their paid glory in being a paid fan. They're coming in. They got a paycheck. They feel happy. They're They got free.
Okay,
Yeah,
Bill, I got a question for you too. That's burning my eyes out. Okay, between Cooper Kupp and Terrell Owens, who's the best wide receiver? That's a rhetorical question, isn't it?
Yeah, that's hands up.
I mean,
I guarantee you, if Cooper Kupp would have been playing
Rudy's.
around the time,
Oh, God. Okay. Here you go, Bill. One Rams fan has also said that Rodney. I mean, they're making me crazy. We have guys that went to the Hall of Fame that these people are comparing. I don't, should we start blocking them? Banning them for stupidity. That's a charge.
y'all something. Corey Hall. Right, your little Corey Hall dude.
Ready to go said Ronnie Lott was a wimp.
Great, right. Yeah, I don't think so. If Ronnie Lott would have been around the time, like if Ronnie Lott in his prime would have been playing you last year in the playoffs, keep talking that smack because we're going to own you. You're going to be 0-2 in the division against us this year. Don't disappear.
Ronnie would have got disqualified, though. That's when they were playing real football. Yeah.
Hold on a second. I got a spoiler alert. The Cowboys are going to get their first playoff win this year.
And it's going to be the Rams. I knew that was coming. In the first round.
Keep it up, Amelia. Keep it up.
Don't let that happen. Oh, God.
And then we eliminate them. I want to see the Cowboys in the NFC Championship.
You and me both.
It's so sweet in AT&T Stadium. Oh, so big.
And you know how they got the thing set up so the players are sitting right in the tunnel. Looks like it's narrower than most tunnels. It's real tight through walking through there. I want to see them sitting right there at the edge, yelling out all kind of obscenities as the 49ers walk by. And the 49ers do like Trent Williams did, point at them with a big grin on your face. That's a classic picture. Oh, man.
Oh, those Cowgirls. And y'all got, what kind of history does the Rams actually got besides being two Super Bowl wins
in two different cities?
LA.
Yeah. Well, Bill, they're not gonna get any better. Just we're gonna go. I'm gonna look for you tomorrow or Friday, and hopefully you just have a great night. And every chance you get, say something to a Cowboy fan to make him. I want to hurt his feelings. Let him know that their chances of the future are weak.
Thor showing.
And they may as well start
on Thursday.
Yeah. Start rooting for the Mavericks.
Go watch Thor.
Oh, yeah, Thor's coming to town. Yeah. And listen, the previews look like that's going to be lit.
Dressed in I'm going to be in my 49er attire with a bunch of Cowboys around. After I'm going to ruin their movie. I'm going to make sure I put my 49er Christmas hat on and go there.
Hey, Bill, do you have
feels like Christmas. Huh?
Do you own any cowboy boots?
In July.
Bill?
No, I don't.
You need to get some of them snakeskin boots. You're gonna still wear your 49 hat, but as that cowboy fans, hey, nice boots, but what you got on your head though? That ruins everything. You guys, they didn't say the cowboy boots market was just limited to you. I love to hear what a cowboy fan would say. They're such.
Don't give me the ideals because I'm probably sure to do it.
That's
Anyways,
why. What made me appreciate Stephen A. Smith last year. Stephen A. Smith, I've always been 50-50 with him. I could take him or leave him. But the way he worked the Cowboy fans last year was epic. That was really special.
That's my guy.
Stephen A. Smith walks into fan gatherings in Dallas wearing a cowboy hat, and smoking a cigar, and pointing and laughing at him. I worry about him with that. I'm saying, he needs to be, that's not safe. But he doesn't. Oh, God. Well, hey, Bill, I tell you what, as I say, let's see you in the next round, okay?
Out.
Got it.
Mama, don't let your kids grow up to be
cowboys.
And
We'll do that song next time. I'm gonna go now. But Mama, please don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. It's a dead end. Bill. Night, fam.
Go, Ronbo.
Oh. Fam, we're just having fun this time of year. There's no real action, so Rams. I got to appreciate you for one reason: that you come in, you provide fodder, like camp fodder. We can beat you up and throw you around and then cut you in 3 weeks. And when we start talking about real football, that'll be the end of that. Because we're not taking you seriously. We're having fun with you. We're toying with you. We're not laughing with you. We're laughing at you. You got away, finally. Okay, fine. Go ahead. Continue to beat the chest. Roll around and just jubilation and let us like we're going to be just impacted in some way that's going to be favorable to you. We're not amused. We're not impressed. It's okay. Just to let you know. And thank you for the contributions, guys. Contributions, guys, really always appreciated. Please hit that like before you leave. Even you, Rams, you guys know we provide you with all the fun you have. Hit that like. Don't you guys leave without leaving a like, you shameless sons of, you know what. And be sure to subscribe. And I'll see you, fam, in a little bit. God, I love doing that. Doesn't sound right if you do the Rams.